them. The expanded charges, 18 up from 4, added new ones, including conspiracy to obstruct justice and obstruction of justice. The obstruction charges stem from an investigation into the couple's alleged acceptance of bribes, including cash, gold, and a Mercedes-Benz. Menendez is also accused of acting as a foreign agent to benefit Qatar and Egypt.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Menendez denies wrongdoing and refuses to resign. A fifth person charged in the case has pleaded guilty, with trial set to begin in May. Former President Trump asking for a delay in the New York criminal case related to hush money allegations. That trial is scheduled to begin March 25th. Lawyers for the former president say it should wait until after a Supreme Court decision on his immunity claims. Those arguments are scheduled for next month. President Biden's heading to New Hampshire to talk about lowering drug costs after speaking at a League of Cities conference and calling again for a bipartisan border security deal to get a vote.
This bill would save lives. Bring order to the border.
That deal stalled in the Senate as Republicans push for tougher measures and for the president to act. A 12-year-old boy arrested in Massachusetts accused of making a school shooting threat.
Norwood, Massachusetts police were notified that students in a group text message Friday were told there'd be a shooting at the school. While most numbers in the message belonged to students at the school, the person who wrote the threat said they were texting from a number that could not be traced. Police, though, eventually did find out who it belonged to and talked to the person who was out of town at the time. When their family returned to town Sunday, police went to their home. The 12-year-old confessed to making the threat.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. No gun was found. America is listening to Fox News.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up?
I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Get $5 off at alignprobiotics.com.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Lots of sunshine as we go through the afternoon. The high about 68. Remember, with the time change, the warmest time of day now is about 3:30 in the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies for evening plans with that added sunlight. Temperatures will slowly drop out of the 60s and 42 for the low on Tuesday. Mostly sunny and excellent 72 for the high on Tuesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-293-8030. That's 800-293-8030. 800-293-8030.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money, Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas & Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
Gain peace of mind that your flooring and carpet installation will be done right the first time when you hire the experts at Michael's Flooring Outlet. They give all their clients attentive personal service, even bring toys for the kids of the household. It's a family-owned and operated business for 25-plus years. They make sure you make the right choice for your home. So if you have carpets or hard floors, you're going to be happy for years to come. 3 convenient locations in St. Charles County, 116 Main Street, in Old Town St. Peters at Mid Rivers and Highway 70, in West County on Olive, and the store in Darden Prairie. Michael's Flooring Outlet, IGotFloor.com.
Do you have multiple years of unfiled taxes or owe more than $8,000? The attorneys at Allies Tax Relief are your ally and will stop the IRS from garnishing your wages or them levying your bank account. Call 800-230-5174.
Tony LaRussa here. Men, are you running out of stamina rounding third base? If so, call my friends at Victory Men's Health in O'Fallon, Illinois. Scoring at home is important, just as important as crossing the plate with the winning run. VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Look, millions of renters are also out there in trouble. We're also cracking down on those landlords who break the antitrust laws by price fixing those rents. Landlords should be competing to give folks the best deal, not conspiring to charge them higher rent.
So Joe Biden talking about how there are a lot of people trying to rent out there. They're in trouble right now. That's not really something that you talk about when the economy is booming. People who are trying to rent and put a roof over their head in the United States of America right now, they're having a little trouble with that. At least according to Joe Biden. Let's go to Pittsburgh and see what's going on there.
Residents of the city will see a major change in the way police respond. They will no longer respond to calls that aren't considered in-progress emergency. That means calls like criminal mischief, theft, harassment, and most burglary alarms will all be handled by an enhanced telephone reporting unit. That means residents will file a police report over the phone. Officers will not respond unless it's an emergency. Also, between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., there will be no officers at any of the 6 stations throughout the city. Call boxes that link directly to 911 have been installed for people to use in case of an emergency. And during the overnight shift, there will be as few as 20 officers to cover the entire city. The chief said today the data supports that.
Does that make you feel comfortable if you're living in Pittsburgh right now? Especially if it's a news announcement. Hey, we're gonna take a long break in the middle of the night. As far as crime and law enforcement goes, we'll write down the notes and we'll get to it when the morning shift gets in there. I think that's a pretty outrageous development in Pittsburgh, but that's Pittsburgh. That's not here in St. Louis. What is going on here in our own backyard? Listen to Elliot Davis.
We have new details on a fight that landed one young woman in the hospital. Police say they have a suspect in custody in a case of what they call an assault on Friday. North County Police received a call to the area of Northgate Drive and Claudine Drive shortly after 2:30 on Friday. Now, as we told you yesterday, this fight did not take place in the grounds of Hazelwood East School. When police arrived, they found a young woman suffering from what they call a severe head injury. Police say a 15-year-old female suspect is in custody at St. Louis County Family Court on assault charges relating to the injuries, and an investigation is ongoing.
Yeah. This girl's still fighting for her life, right? She isn't dead yet.
I haven't heard that she has passed away.
I pray to God that she doesn't. I pray to God that there's a miracle that is blessed upon her and she is able to recover. The video of this beating that took place, important for people to know, it wasn't on Hazelwood East's campus. It was near it, as if that makes any difference, where there was a brutal beating of a young girl who is fighting for her life right now. If you're a praying person, throw one up right now for her to pull through. We have people facing economic concerns. That's according to Joe Biden that we just talked about there. We have people in Pittsburgh. Police in Pittsburgh are no longer going to respond to calls about theft, harassment, or burglary alarms. And then they have business hours. The police have business hours now in Pittsburgh. And then you come back here home to St. Louis, near Hazelwood East, not on the campus, near the campus. And we have children beating children within an inch of their life. And it's on social media. It's a social media craze. It's a social media viral sensation. It's disgusting. I've seen it too many times. And I can't believe that we can just consume this kind of stuff at a whim with a click of a button on our phones. Now, we're supposed to look, these are realities that are happening across the country right now. And we're supposed to look at the politics surrounding all of these things and kind of put all of our energy into putting on the red shirt or the blue shirt because we want this to be fixed. And if we choose the right, I guess, man, if it's Biden and Trump in November, that this stuff will all be fixed. It's not going to. We have culture rot, and it will not be fixed at the ballot box, but it could be made worse at the ballot box. We could continue to move down a path where our values do not align with positive cultural growth, and that's the way we are right now. And it's really sad to see. It's a frustrating thing to take in from afar when you're sitting on your couch and you're watching the news, or if you're at work right now with an earbud in, listening to this show or 97.1 or whatever. These are stories. These aren't your stories. These are stories that you consume and you shake your head and you're like, oh, what's the world coming to? Until it gets on your doorstep. And that's what we have to figure out right now, what we are doing, the direction we're headed, to make sure that we have some common sense about how we approach sensibility, right and wrong, the understanding that we need to be able to point at things and identify them for what they are and let the law breaking be the center of the conversation, not just the word that we use to identify it.
But during your response to her heckling of you, you used the word illegal when talking about the man who allegedly killed Laken Riley.
An undocumented person. And I shouldn't have used illegal. It's undocumented. And look, when I spoke about the difference between Trump and me, one of the things I talked about on the border was that the way he talks about vermin, the way he talks about these people polluting the blood. I talked about what I'm not going to do, what I won't do. I'm not going to treat any of these people with disrespect. Look, they built the country. The reason our economy is growing. We have to control the border and more orderly flow, but I don't share his view at all.
So you regret using that word?
Yes.
Do you notice how MSNBC gives Joe Biden an opportunity to clarify his remarks? Do you understand how on MSNBC, Jonathan Capehart says, you use this word. Is that what you meant? And he's like, no, that's not what I meant. But within the context of his response about saying undocumented, not illegal, undocumented, that it turns into something about Donald Trump. Did Mr. Capehart here on MSNBC sit down and, rub down Donald Trump's shoulders before he asked him, when you said vermin, what did you really mean about that? Is that what you meant to say? Of course not. Of course not. That's not how this works. There's no discussion that is taking place on trying to understand better what Donald Trump is saying. It's everything that Donald Trump says can be contorted however an MSNBC chooses to contort it. Why? Because they don't talk to Donald Trump. Not only do they not talk to Donald Trump, they won't let you and your dumb ears hear what Donald Trump has to say because you might be too stupid and ignorant to listen to him and hear what he says, and then you might all of a sudden agree with something that he says. They can't afford that. A sit-down conversation with MSNBC and the President of the United States, who appropriately identified the murderer of Laken Riley as illegal because he's here illegally. If somebody murders somebody, you call them a murderer. Yes, they're still a human being, but they're also a murderer. You sit down with Joe Biden, and the most egregious thing here is that he called this individual who murdered Laken Riley an illegal because he's here illegally. That's the concern of these people. They're not serious people. They are not looking at the future of this country seriously. They will say the things that they feel they need to say to you to make you feel better in the moment about the direction things are going, but it's never about the long haul. It's never the long shot of a vision for a country that's really about you. It's just about them. It's about saying everything that needs to be said in a way that makes you feel good, so you'll do what? So that you'll only care about that next election. This conversation surrounding this brutal beating at Hazelwood East High School, near it, not on the campus, near it. There are black people involved and there are white people involved. Just like pretty much everything in St. Louis, because we have a pretty biracial community here. And the rush on social media ends up being to talk about the races of people involved. I don't know anything about what happened before that fight started, but I do know that a girl's fighting for her life. And people will see that as an opportunity to discuss race while she's still fighting for her life. I don't know what led into it. I don't know what started it. I've seen multiple people on both sides of the aisle after this conversation bruise around this particular beating event and say, hey, look, at the beginning of this video, there's a black girl trying to pull a black girl off of beating a white girl. It was a good one. There were other white girls that were standing around doing nothing. I don't know if they're bad ones, or maybe they didn't want to get beat. I don't know. It's complicated. But if we actually wanted to solve the issues, we'd care about the details. We don't collectively care about the details when we only focus on doing and saying what we need to do and say to win the next election. So much so that you'll hear people who have been in politics for so incredibly long that they'll do and say things in direct contrast to what they will later stand for because I guess the winds have changed. Joe Biden, as a senator, was selected to give the response to George H.W. Bush's State of the Union. A much younger, potentially more sensible Joe Biden said this.
To put it in very personal terms for a moment, Joe Biden, me, I would settle for a world in which I could worry about the same kinds of things that my parents worried about, in which I only had to worry about the grades my children got in school rather than the drugs they're being exposed to, in which I only had to worry about the prices my wife had to pay at the supermarket instead of fearing that she might get mugged by a junkie in the parking lot as she loads her groceries into the car, in which tonight I could call my mom just to wish her pleasant dreams, not for the purpose of making sure she's safe in her own home. That's the kind of world I want. That's the kind of world you deserve.
Well, he's right about that. And there's one way to secure the safety and security of the people like who he speaks about, his mother, his wife, his children. He's talking about the influence of drugs on his children. He's talking about schools and the worries that he has as a parent who has children in schools that are unnecessary and distracting to the education that they're supposed to be getting. Well, he's got a solution in mind.
In a nutshell, the president's plan doesn't include enough police officers to catch the violent thugs, not enough prosecutors to convict them, not enough judges to sentence them, and not enough prison cells to put them away for a long time. We disagree with the president's decision to cut back on our previous commitment to protect against drugs coming across the border, to cut the Customs Service, the Coast Guard, and the Border Patrol. We think we should do more to stem the flow of drugs across our borders, and we think we should go one step further. Let's go after the drug lords where they live, with an international strike force. There must be no safe haven for these narco-terrorists, and they must know it. And we don't have to promise a world without worry or fear. We're not asking for that much. All we have to do, together, is to keep our promises and stay together. Thank you.
I mean, the irony there is so outrageous that I'm waiting to find out that that was an AI development, because the things that he's saying right there, I mean, in many cases, that's the Trump platform. And this was a response to George H.W. Bush's State of the Union. How far we've come in this amount of time. I don't know. AI is getting pretty good. If we do, if Joe Biden becomes incapacitated in his second term as president and can't handle the rigors of the job, but they decide to keep propping him up in some way, can we use that AI version of Joe Biden? Can we just scrap the current iteration and go back to Senator Biden era George H.W. Bush? Because I like that one a lot more. There's a lot more common sense involved there. It's pretty amazing. Let's take a quick break. We'll get more news of the day when we return here on the Annie Fry Show. The YouTube live chat poll today: do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? Are you getting a lot of those text messages? If you're not, what are your secrets? Share those with us. And secondly, let us know the inundation that you get. Does it cause you to support them more, support them less, or it doesn't really impact who you're going to vote and how you're going to vote? Annie Fry YouTube channel for that. We'll be right back.
You got a fast car.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Now work in the market as a checkout girl.
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
We'll move out of the shelter, buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan, and Stewie knows what he's doing. He is a very, very smart man with a very successful business. And the best thing about it, in my opinion, as a two-time customer myself of the bagel loan, is that he does business the old-fashioned way. He knows what has worked decades and decades and decades, and that's treating you, the customer, as a priority, doing business directly with you, not handing you off to some call center somewhere. Stewie, he's on the other line of this number, 314-324-4440. It's his personal cell phone number. You have my permission to call him or text him and ask him questions about maybe a mortgage refinance where using the bagel loan clears away all those closing costs that often make it punitive to go ahead and go through that refinance. If you're looking to purchase a home, make sure that before you decide on where to get your mortgage from, that you at least call or text 314-324-4440. Stewie's going to walk you through why the bagel loan is the best deal in the business, and nobody else out there is doing the bagel loan themselves. Just Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
Does your bathroom feel old and outdated? Are you dreaming of a bathroom makeover but think it's too expensive and time-consuming? Then it's time to call 1-800-REMODEL and give your bathroom a beautiful new look in just days without having to make your first payment for up to 18 months. When you call 1-800-REMODEL, you'll be connected to a top pre-screened certified bathroom remodeling professional who specializes in beautifying bathrooms quickly and affordably. We've helped tens of thousands of homeowners looking to upgrade their homes, and we can help you turn that old space into a showplace. With mortgage rates so high, now is not the best time to sell your home. So, enjoy living in it with an upgraded bathroom and make your home more valuable at the same time. Why wait? Give your bathroom a beautiful, clean, new look in as little as 3 days with no payment for up to 18 months. Enjoy now, pay later. Call 1-800-REMODEL now. That's 1-800-REMODEL. Financing subject to qualification.
We're entering remodeling season. If you've considered new windows, let me recommend my friends at Window World. Mark Cox here. Here's the great thing about Window World. Not just the preferred window of our hometown St. Louis Blues, they're now the official window of the world champion Kansas City Chiefs. So if you're considering replacement windows, this is the company you want to work with. I'm a satisfied customer. I've got 2 other windows in my master bathroom. We couldn't be happier with those. They have a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, all the glass breakage and labor. There's a reason why in just over 20 years of business, they've improved the look and thermal efficiency of 72,000 plus customers in the greater St. Louis area. A Window World is fantastic. The windows are so durable. Not only do they stand behind their windows, at the showroom, they actually stood on a window right in front of me. You're going to love it. 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800 or windowworld.com.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published taxpayer bill of rights which says you have the right to retain legal representation because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Story Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Story Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Keep the air you're paying to heat where it should be with 15% off attic insulation. For a free estimate on attic insulation, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Reardon Fish Fries continue. Join me and the crew at the American Legion Post 400 in Fenton this Friday. We're broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Details at 971talk.com/events. It's Fish Fry Fridays on the Mark Reardon Show. Hope to see you in Fenton.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Appreciate you being with us on a Monday at post-daylight savings. We're in daylight savings times now, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
This is hell.
Yes.
We are in hell. You're in the second circle of hell right now. When you have children and you're like, it's time to go to bed. They're like, I'm not tired. We're like, we know you're not now, but you will be for a week. Just straight. Tired for a week. I hate daylight savings time. I wish that we would just, like everybody else, just pick one and go with it. But you need to pick it now. Like, okay, we're past the last one. So just say in October and November, we're not changing again.
You don't even have to say it. Just don't.
You need to say it. Because then we can, I want to fight about it now when it's less consequential and less people will be invested in caring about it. And then people just forget that. Did we change the clocks back this year? No, I don't think we did. And it's Christmas. And then you're over it and you're happy because it's Christmas time. I don't mind when it gets darker earlier, and I'm one of about 4 people on the planet who probably is like that. it makes it easier to put your kids to bed sooner. That bar none. Ask me again when my kids are all up and out of the house, which is going to be in 70 years, I think. But it's easier to put small children down when it's been darker for longer. But I do love the long summer days where you can sit out in the sun or by the pool until 8:30 or so, starting to be twilight, crickets chirping, lightning bugs blinking, or lightninging, or whatever it is that they do. Yeah, I'm ready for that, but this sucks. I hate it.
Man, you just made the hairs on the back of my neck stand up talking about that time.
It's time.
Oh, man, yeah.
There's a soundtrack to it.
Yes.
And it makes you feel the warmth, maybe a cool breeze. When it gets a little bit later at night, you get on a jacket instead of shorts and a tank top or something like that.
A little bit of rustle of trees.
All right, I'm ready. Let's go. That's why every time I go to Florida, and I'm like, why do I not live here? Well, what am I doing with my life? But then I go to Florida a lot in July, and I'm like, oh, that's why. Now I get it. The YouTube live chat poll for today on the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Come say hi. We'd love to see you. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can hit the notification bell, and you'll get notified when we go live every day. It's a good way to kind of fill in the gaps to when you're in your car and you're listening to 97.1 FM Talk or on the Odyssey app. I know I was talking to some people who listen. I was at the school auction this weekend and got to meet some people who listen to the show. And if they're listening right now, hello. It was a pleasure to meet you. But they were talking about how pretty far out east the signal will start to fade a little bit out east past Highland, which is pretty far. And the Odyssey app is a perfect solution for that. AUDACY. If you download it and you search 97.1 FM Talk, you take us everywhere, all the time, even to Florida when you're on the beach, sitting in the warm sun. We have a YouTube live chat poll every day on the YouTube channel where you can come in and say hi and watch the show if you so choose. And in the comment section where you can leave your thoughts throughout the course of the show, we ask a poll. And today's is, do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? So we want to know all those text messages that you're getting. All of mine go to spam. Do you have a spam folder? I'm an Android.
I think I do. Well, I get a warning. It says potential spam on the text messages, but I don't have it set up to automatically throw it into a spam folder. But I don't get any political messages. And anytime I do get some sort of chain message, I always reply stop.
Oh, man, they never stop. They don't stop. I've done that, too. Then you get the reply that you're like, stop. And they're like, okay, one more.
Are you sure?
Just to tell you that you've stopped. But they're all sent from different messages. Laura Trump texted me today. That was exciting. I don't even know how to get to my spam messages. I get them all. And they all presume that I'm the most influential, or influenceable, I should say, person on the planet. They're going to say something super sensational in a text message, and I'm going to go, oh my gosh, that's terrible. Here's $25. That's just going to fall out of my pocket towards them. I have never donated money because somebody texted me something. Here's one. 5 Republican MVPs have texted you about taking our conservative focus group survey. And they list them. They list them like they're on the other side of the studio door, and they're gonna take me out and tell me what's up if I don't do this. 5 Republican MVPs have texted you about taking our conservative focus group survey. President Trump, Kellyanne Conway, Senator Ted Cruz, Donald Trump Jr., Sean Spicer. We bring this up because we are still missing your response to our survey, despite the fact that all these MVPs have texted you about it. This is bullying. This doesn't make me feel good about me, but worse about them.
I'm just imagining the picture that they're painting there where Sean Spicer's like,
he's probably
Annie Fry.
He's probably, yeah.
I don't have Annie Fry on here.
What the heck?
What is going on?
Send out a text message. It's like Austin Powers. What is it? Send me the clothes. That's Sean Spicer, though, in like a black leather onesie.
Oh,
pleather.
I don't need that.
Shiny pleather. I'm not done yet. They're still bullying me here. Despite the fact that all these MVPs have texted you about it, and to make matters worse, our deadline is today at 11:59 p.m. Don't wait another second. Take our survey in all caps now.
Now.
Wow. How about this in all caps? No. And you know what? This is the God's honest truth, because when I get phone, I'm the one who still will be like, yeah, I'll take your survey when they call me.
Mm-hmm.
And I do get those phone calls a lot of times just for Illinois stuff. I would take the survey. I would 100% take the survey if they guaranteed me they'd never text me again about it. I'm pretty confident that if I send this text message, go take this survey, that I'm going to get more text messages that are bullying me. Like, I don't need to be bullied. I just need to be asked. I guess maybe they did, and I ignored them because they're in my spam folder. It's a little ridiculous. So do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? Yes, more supportive. Yes, less supportive, or no impact. Brad, what do you think?
They don't affect me at all. I said a little bit earlier, I don't know that I even get any. If I do, they're so few and far between that they're not even an annoyance.
Do you know how to get to your spam folder on your iPhone?
I was just looking at that. I don't think I have one.
I bet you do. Somewhere. There has to be one somewhere. I just wonder if your iPhone interface is really good at protecting you from the nonsense.
Would it be enough to get you to switch to Apple?
Oh, hell no. Nope. Not a chance. You can't. You're checking your phone on the air.
I am looking to see if there is a spam folder on the iPhone.
Somebody listening right now knows, and they probably already commented on the YouTube. Jackie says, I can't find my spam folder. We'll have to Google it. I just don't think that this is who is getting these text messages and going, oh my gosh, Mr. Trump, I'm so sorry. I'll get right on that. And like dropping what you're doing and taking that survey. Now, I did have some conversations with some local politicians, and I'm not going to tell you if it's Missouri or Illinois, who saw this poll question get popped up, and they messaged me, and they're like, they are highly effective. The text messages are highly effective. Maybe I'm just not in that demo.
I mean, I guess they'd have to be. Otherwise, why would they keep doing it?
I don't know. I don't understand at all why anybody spends a penny on mailers. Is there anybody out there who gets a mailer and looks at it and takes the wording on a mailer as gospel? Because if you're sending something out on a cardboard, first of all, you need to know, there's one main point you need to know. Who paid for it? You can go down and look in the fine print. They always have to say who paid for it. The second thing is the picture that's in black and white and looks like it's somebody who's about to take a bite of food. That's the bad guy. And the picture that's in color with the golden retrievers and the John Deere behind you, that's the good guy. And that's who they want you to vote for. Simple, basic political mailer stuff. Now, look at the details of what they're saying, and it's always an element, a kernel of truth that they've taken and spun in an incredibly dishonest way, where you can take the element of truth that might be there. You know, this is a perfect example is somebody will put together a big omnibus bill, and in it will have like some sort of support, some financial support for hungry children in a specific location of the United States. It's very targeted. It's probably not that much money. And they put it in a bill that also doubles the amount of money that goes to Planned Parenthood. So as a conservative, if you're voting on this, if you're a pro-life conservative, are you supposed to vote for the bill that doubles spending to Planned Parenthood, but against the hungry children in, Nowheresville, Southern Illinois? Because if you take that vote and you vote against doubling the investment that the taxpayer dollar is making in Planned Parenthood, the mailers will say that you wanted little children in Southern Illinois to die from starvation. That's just the way it works. If you take the vote and vote yes for it because you're afraid of the political ramifications of a mailer that talks about starving children in Southern Illinois, and you're voting to support Planned Parenthood, then you should lose your next election. If you're a pro-life conservative and you care about the pro-life conservative vote. But that's all mailers are. They're just one political hit job after the other, and they're all bologna sausage. And they drive me crazy. But those don't even make it past the trash can in my garage. The mail comes in, I bring it in and I set it on. We have the trash can, we have the recycling bin. The mail pile, the heap of it goes on top of the trash can. I set aside the 6 things out of the stack that I need to keep or open or go through or shred. Everything else, right into the recycling bin. I don't even look at who they're from anymore. I think it's the biggest waste of money. So there has to be an element to the text message that cuts through the noise more than the investment, which from what I understand, I think the investment in mailers is not as, I don't know what the comparison is to text messaging, but boy, there has to be another way. And then there's the people who invest in YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I get messages weekly, if not daily, from people who tune into the Annie Fry YouTube live stream on YouTube, which we do every day and we're doing right now. And they're like, why does Joe Biden run ads on Annie's YouTube all the time? And I don't know. It's probably because I put up videos and in the description we're hashtagging Joe Biden. And they're like, oop, these are people talking about Biden. These are political people. Let's see if we can influence them. Kind of weird that Joe Biden is investing on advertising on my show to the tune of probably like 0.003 of a penny. It is, I am not getting rich. In fact, I hope to break even at the end of the year.
That's like half of which can be yours.
Yeah. It is a behind the scenes joke on the regular about the money spent on the YouTube platform and the money back in. Like, I think I made like $9.73 in February or something. Anywho. I want to know what you think about it. So, Brad, your response. Do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? Yes. More supportive? Yes. Less supportive or no impact?
No impact.
No impact. Brad's no impact. We'll ask Ryan and Leah later on in the show what they think. Ryan's going to come in here for the Monday Roundup on Wiggins America when we return, and we'll continue to get your thoughts on these text messages. You got to let me know what you think. Russell says, I said doesn't impact me. Luckily, I haven't received any text messages from a campaign. Maybe I've just jinxed myself. How are you people doing this? How do they get my number? Hunter said, I don't get a lot of them because I give out my brother's phone number when I sign up for stuff. Hunter, now you're
my
talking.
Man.
Yes. I got to go get my brother's phone number. I don't know it by heart. I'm going to get it and jot it down right now. We'll get him some. Well, I'm not going to say that out loud. Sorry. I'm not going to hang him out to dry. Let's get Wiggins America in here next. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
TheDiamondShop.net. Have you signed up to be a VIP yet with The Diamond Shop? I hope you have, but if you haven't, a reminder, if you go online to TheDiamondShop.net, you're going to be connected to the best jewelers in the St. Louis area. First of all, they've been around since 1910. They know how to do business. They know how to earn your business back. I think that says a lot. I am a customer of the Diamond Shop. My husband, gratefully, thankfully, is a customer of the Diamond Shop. And they have beautiful, unique pieces at the Diamond Shop. You're not going to go see a bunch of people wearing the same thing all the time because the Diamond Shop is very unique in what they offer. But they stand out. They are an educational store. They want to make sure that they understand you when you come in to make a purchase and that you understand them so that you get the piece that you've been looking for so that your investment is one you're very proud of. 30% off all in-stock jewelry for all of March. Daylight savings time. All watch batteries are $10. Make sure you go get your battery replaced in your watch. And VIPs, like I said, sign up at thediamondshop.net. Get an extra 10% off all green in-stock jewelry from March 1st through the 16th. So hustle up and get there to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. You can find them online at thediamondshop.net.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
And paid for by America First Tax Group. Attention, if you or your business is behind in filing your tax returns, or if you owe over $10,000 in back taxes to the IRS, please listen carefully. The IRS does not joke around and will not stop their collection efforts. If you're tired of the IRS letters, levies, liens, or wage garnishments and would like to get a fresh start, we can help. Due to the financial hardships in the country, the IRS is making it easier than ever to settle tax problems for those who owe more than $10,000. We can help settle your delinquent tax problems, end all collections, and may even reduce your back taxes significantly. Even if you can't afford to pay your back taxes, you can still get the help you need. We've helped thousands of taxpayers just like you. But you must call 800-212-5471 today to stop your tax problem from getting worse. The information is free and the help is real. Call 800-212-5471. That's 800-212-5471. Again, 800-212-5471.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best, Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
At Lakeside Renovation and Design, our secret sauce isn't just the tools we use or the materials we choose. It's our people. We're not just builders. We're local craftsmen, highly skilled in our trades. Our team takes immense pride in transforming homeowners' visions into reality. We're not just in the business of remodeling, we're in the business of making homes more beautiful, comfortable, and valuable. What sets us apart? Integrity and honesty. Our craftsmen exceed expectations because we care. Lakeside, where every nail, every cut, every detail is a testament to our commitment to you.
All this week, we on the Annie Fry Show are happy to give you a chance to win Kenny Chesney tickets. He's coming June 13th. We will give you the first of those chances during the 2 o'clock hour today, so stick around. If you like Kenny Chesney, it is 12:46. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Mark Cox here. Join me and keynote speaker Senator Josh Hawley Friday, March 22nd for the 2024 St. Charles County Lincoln Day Dinner. We'll have drinks, dinner, and thought-provoking discussions. Tickets are on sale now. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
Wiggins! Oh! Monday Roundup! Yeah! This here's the wildest ride in the wilderness!
And this is, of course, everything you missed over the weekend, every single thing that has risen to the level of importance. We'll start with the most important.
Based on you.
Say this again?
Say it. What did you just say?
That has risen to the level of importance. Most important
That's a big, bold statement.
Yeah, I know. The first one is, I'm just going to tell the story here. Officials, police, firefighters, and EMS responded to an Oldham County high school, this is in Kentucky, call around 11 a.m. last Thursday or Friday after receiving reports of a strong gas odor in the building, according to the sheriff's office. Officials escorted everyone out of the school, and at least 7 students who reported feeling discomfort were evaluated by EMS. None of them required additional medical attention, and all students and staff returned to class, police said. Detectives then determined that there was no gas leak and that the strong smell emanated from a liquid substance that a 17-year-old female allegedly poured inside 2 trash cans known as fart spray. The sheriff's office described the substance as a non-toxic concentrated liquid product commonly advertised online for use in pranks.
The lead story for what we missed this weekend is that a high school girl poured fart spray in a trash can in a school.
I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
If I see the words fart and spray together in a headline.
Ew. I can take a lot of directions, none of which I'd be like, I should read more.
Fart and spray together means it is on the Annie Fry Show sometime that week.
I can tell you exactly the only segment it'll be on in the Annie Fry Show this week.
My little fiefdom here. The next one, now you might consider this one a little more important. A little more. Laura Trump promises legal ballot harvesting to be a part of the new RNC strategy.
Dang right, it better be.
Big deal. Newly elected RNC co-chair Laura Trump said it's time for the RNC to up its game and compete with more strategy against the Democrats.
It's about 3 years late, but onward.
Exactly. Quote, "We've been playing checkers and the Democrats have been playing chess," Laura Trump told the Washington Examiner. "Unfortunately, we don't have 1 day of voting. We don't have paper ballots. We don't have voter ID everywhere. So we have to play the hand that we're dealt," she said, noting the importance of early voting and mail-in voting where possible. That way, we have votes banked as we head into Election Day and we're not playing catch-up on November 5th with the Democrats. Finally. Finally. And this, to me, is one of the main reasons why my guess is that Donald Trump may have been involved in pushing with Ronna McDaniel a little bit because maybe she wasn't embracing this as much.
My curiosity is why? Like, will we ever figure out why the GOP wasn't about embracing that?
I don't know, because Trump was sort of number one in saying that this is all a scam and doing election day voting in 2020, but he seems to have very much changed his tune, knowing that you can't play by that strategy.
Yeah. And we've said this a bunch of times before. Like, there were some changes in Major League Baseball last year in the rules and the way they do things. And it would be silly not to take advantage of those changes just on principle.
Andy says on YouTube, is that an admission that mail-in voting is not inherently fraudulent? Abso-freaking-lutely not.
Not in the least.
That's an interesting takeaway from that. The idea that mail-in voting in and of itself isn't fraudulent. People have mailed in votes in absentee form, including military, for a long time. And the idea that the more you mail in vote and the longer you do it, the more of a playground that fraud has. I'm sure, Andy, that you would understand that. The idea that fraud has more arena to play in the longer that ballots are being taken. But to the point of what Laura Trump is making there, this is the name of the game. And the Democrats bent the rules as much as they possibly could in 2020. And it's time that the Republicans beat them at their own game. And I think, honestly, it's too late to start that emphasis now in March of 2024 after we have a presumptive nominee for our party. I think it's too late. So I don't know if they'll be able to make up the amount of ground. It's amazing to me that the Democrats, really, the way that they get the most votes in this is to go get people who are uninformed. I'll just let that sentence speak for what it is.
Yeah, the quote that I read starts with, "Unfortunately, we don't have 1 day of voting. We don't have paper ballots," on and on and on. They're acknowledging this is not the ideal system. She also says we need to be doing legal ballot harvesting, something has never been done by the RNC, but I can promise you will be a huge part of what we're planning to do. And then come Election Day, you'll see that, I think. It's not just about having poll watchers, not just about having trained poll watchers and lawyers. It's about all of these things together around the country as necessary. And these are the people who will be trained and able to physically count how many ballots are coming in and how many ballots are going out. So there you go. I forgot to play the whip last time. That means I could just keep starting talk about fart spray some more.
No, it doesn't.
No? Don't want to hear any more about that one? Moving on. Bakery accused of reselling Dunkin' Donuts as vegan.
This isn't, Andy, are you okay? But I'm okay with that.
Yeah? You sure?
Sure.
You sure? Because they're charging quite a bit more, I think.
I don't care.
And here's what's funny about the story. New York's Division of Food and Safety.
I think we've already arrived at hilarious.
They're conducting a full investigation into these accusations that a baker resold donuts from a Dunkin' Donuts under the guise that they were vegan and gluten-free treats that she made herself. This is a very long story, so I won't get too wrapped up in it. But basically, this woman and her husband
is a fraud.
Well, the woman and her husband who bought the donuts posted all this online, and the way that they found out is not deep detective work. They had one donut in the middle of their box that was covered in icing and a bunch of D sprinkles from Dunkin' Donuts. And so they contacted the owner. They said, "Hey, are you reselling Dunkin' Donuts as vegan?" and they got no response, so they took it to the authorities who are now looking into it in New York. Thank you so
They
much.
took the donuts to the police to investigate?
Yeah, thank you so much for
Of course they did.
New York investigators looking into this. There's not much else going on there.
There's a lot of danger that could be involved in selling food products and saying it's one thing and it's not the other. There are people who have very significant allergies, and you can't play around with that stuff. So it's, of course, ridiculous to do that, but it's kind of funny as long as no one got hurt.
It is funny. And by the way, they sent them to a lab, the people who bought them, full of gluten. There was no non-gluten in those donuts.
Were they vegan or were they supposed to be gluten? I thought they were supposed to be vegan.
Well, I think the ones they specifically ordered were supposed to be gluten-free and vegan, and they were neither.
Because vegan and gluten-free is not
Right,
the
they're
same
different
thing,
things.
right?
Yeah, they're different things. Real quick, last one
Obviously,
here.
I am neither.
I try to do gluten. I do
I'm
less
the one
than
who
gluten.
just goes directly to the Dunkin' Donuts and is like, I'll have one.
Yeah. I'm not saying I never have a donut, but I am trying to. You
Are
can
you
tell me,
kidding me?
Leah, tell
Are
me
you-
this.
Oh my gosh.
It's
Where
good
is
for
this
you
going?
to have a little less gluten. Am I wrong as our health expert?
I've never had a gluten issue, so I'm not the one to ask.
Well, never mind then. I try to eat a little less gluten is all I'm saying, Annie. Not none. Just a little less. Makes me a little less achy.
Is somebody challenging you on how much gluten you're eating?
My joints are.
Is there a connection between gluten and joints?
I've noticed it for myself.
Yes.
I have
Inflammation.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
I thought you'd know that, Leah.
Yeah. She's like, no, I take care of myself.
Yeah, I don't
I don't
need-
find
need
these
these
things out on
Ryan
accident.
is campaigning for you to be the resident health expert just because she makes better life decisions than we do. This is just like Joe Biden giving the best speech of his presidential career.
Man.
It's like, well, you want to really define where the bar is there?
I know. And then to see him kind of come down off of the go-go juice this weekend, and he's just right back to normal.
I told you there was going to be an equal negative response, and it happened.
It has. It really has. Well, anyway, I'm just going to play the whip one more time because I didn't quite get to this last story. but
Wait 3 seconds
It's a
to
lot of
have
fun.
it play. Wait for it. Wait for it. Now I feel fulfilled.
Thank you.
One of those things. Let's talk to Steve Moore when we come back about what's going on with the economy. Mike Davis, founder and president of the Article 3 Project as well, to give us a Trump legal challenge update. Good 1 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust. Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits, a $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-293-8030. That's 800-293-8030. 800-293-8030.
Let's talk garage doors. Your garage door. Is it too loud? Or letting cold or hot air in around the frame? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis will make it all better. In March only, they will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79 and just in March. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Schedule now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure, it's just not fun. Always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.
Looks like it costs a fortune.
Actually, at Bob's, the Playscape 2-piece sectional is just $9.99.
Looks like it was crafted by a master carpenter.
Gorgeous, right? Bob's genuine marble elm dining set comes with 6 chairs or 4 chairs and a storage bench for just $9.99.
Looks like a unicorn cried happy tears all over it.
That's our bedazzled diva bedroom set. I can see why you think that. When the looks you love go for less, there's only one thing to say.
Oh, my Bob!
Bob's Discount Furniture.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It wasn't an apology, Lisa Brady, Fox News. That from a White House spokesperson after President Biden said he regretted describing an undocumented murder suspect from Venezuela as an illegal during his State of the Union address.
I want to be really clear about something. The president absolutely did not apologize. There was no apology anywhere in that conversation. He did not apologize. He used a different word. I think what we should be really clear about is the facts.
Deputy Press Secretary Olivia Dalton, as some Democrats criticized the president's unscripted remark about the suspect while accusing Republicans of playing politics with the killing of Georgia nursing student Laken Riley, whose family met over the weekend with former President Trump. President Biden unveils his proposed budget for the next fiscal year, $7.3 trillion in spending.
The OMB director, Shalonda Young, says the budget increases spending on affordable housing, expands free tuition for community college. It calls to allow prescription drug price negotiations to expand to all Americans, not just those on Medicaid. A big push today, though, for the president. Speaking this morning, he says his budget spends a total of $258 billion to build or preserve 2 million affordable housing units.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House. The president says it would reduce the deficit by $3 trillion over 10 years, despite a nearly $2 trillion gap between spending and tax revenue. Israel may have taken out one of 3 Hamas leaders said to have planned the October 7th massacre.
Marwan Issa is nicknamed the Shadow Man for his ability to stay off the radar, but Israel might at last have got their man. Israeli Army radio says 5 people were killed in an airstrike targeting Issa, and the military's checking if he was one of those who died.
Fox's Jonathan Savage, he'd be the highest-ranking Hamas official killed so far. This as Prime Minister Netanyahu vows again to achieve full victory after President Biden said going into the city of Rafah would cross a red line. America is listening to Fox News.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Get $5 off at alignprobiotics.com.
Can't sleep with this cold.
Honey.
Honey?
Honey, you need NyQuil Severe Honey.
NyQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a dreamy honey taste.
Feeling better, honey? Honey? I'll take that as a yes.
Try NyQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu symptom relief. NyQuil Severe with honey flavor. The nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever. Honeylicious, best sleep with a cold. Medicine.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Lots of sunshine as we go through the afternoon. The high about 68. Remember, with the time change, the warmest time of day now is about 3:30 in the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies for evening plans with that added sunlight. Temperatures will slowly drop out of the 60s and 42 for the low on Tuesday. Mostly sunny and excellent 72 for the high on Tuesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Reardon Fish Fries continue. Join me and the crew at the American Legion Post 400 in Fenton this Friday. We're broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Details at 971talk.com/events. It's Fish Fry Fridays on the Mark Reardon Show. Hope to see you in Fenton.
Does your bathroom feel old and outdated? Are you dreaming of a bathroom makeover but think it's too expensive and time-consuming? Then it's time to call 1-800-REMODEL and give your bathroom a beautiful new look in just days without having to make your first payment for up to 18 months. When you call 1-800-REMODEL, you'll be connected to a top pre-screened certified bathroom remodeling professional who specializes in beautifying bathrooms quickly and affordably. We've helped tens of thousands of homeowners looking to upgrade their homes, and we can help you turn that old space into a showplace. With mortgage rates so high, now is not the best time to sell your home. So, enjoy living in it with an upgraded bathroom and make your home more valuable at the same time. Why wait? Give your bathroom a beautiful, clean new look in as little as 3 days with no payment for up to 18 months. Enjoy now, pay later. Call 1-800-REMODEL now. That's 1-800-REMODEL. Financing subject to qualification.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
The Lifestyles Unlimited team of real estate investing mentors and educators want to meet you. Learn to retire in 5 years or less. In St. Louis, 2 days only, April 27th and 28th. Go to GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. Promo code 2024.
Proper insulation in your home or business can save you money every month. The insulation experts at Koala Insulation of Gateway West in Metro East Illinois deliver efficiency and improved comfort. Big or small, Koala has you covered. Call or text Koala Insulation of Gateway West in Metro East Illinois at 314-756-5661 and find them on Facebook or check out the reviews at koalainsulation.com/gateway-west.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a car wreck, you need the best. Let us make your case our cause. Car accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
I have never seen the type of enthusiasm for a Republican presidential candidate that I'm seeing right now for President Donald Trump. 40% of African American men are willing to vote for President Trump. Why? Because they had more money in their pockets, we had more law and order in the streets, and we had a greater future for our kids.
Tim Scott continues to be a wonderful surrogate for Donald Trump, and I think a very effective messenger. And this is what I said. You could go back and play the tape on the day that I remember I was driving down 44 when he was giving his speech, saying he was going to run for president, and he just has a fire and a passion for America. And it's for the America that I recognize. It's for the America that I want to see my children be raised in. And he has a positivity about him that is contagious. And I think is very necessary when it comes to bringing people in to a bigger tent to say, we're going to do something, not just we're not that other big, scary guy. I think Tim Scott is a fantastic surrogate for Donald Trump. I'm always interested in hearing what Tim Scott has to say pretty much about anything because I just like the way he says it. And then when you listen to the message, you're like, I agree with that too. I'm trying to think of something he said or done on the campaign trail that has made me go, okay, maybe not that. I haven't encountered that at this point in time. Joe Biden, did we play this sound about him, or did I read it on the air last week about what the world leaders were pulling him aside and saying?
No, we didn't play it.
Listen to this.
And I've gone now, I spent over almost 200 hours with the leaders of Europe, the heads of state. I know them all. I've known them well. And guess what? You know what every one of them says to me, virtually except Orban? I'm serious. As we leave these meetings, well, indirectly, they grab my arm and they pull me aside. I'm serious. They pull me aside and say, you can't win again.
Why is Joe Biden bragging about all but one European leader saying, you got to step down, dude. You can't pull this off again. There's a negative campaign that follows Joe Biden, and his push to the American people is about the scary guy on the other side, the end of democracy, what's going to happen if Donald Trump takes the reins. When you hear Tim Scott talking like we just played right there, and you hear him talk about 40% of African-American men are willing to vote for Trump because they know that with Donald Trump, they had more money in their pockets. That's policy. That's not fear. That's giving credence to the voters out there who are smart enough to obviously understand there's a huge economic difference between a Joe Biden presidency and a Donald Trump presidency. Steve Moore joins us now, Distinguished Fellow in the Economics at the Heritage Foundation, a Trump economic advisor as well, and an author. Steve, welcome back to the show. It's always good to have you here.
Hi, Annie. Good to be with you.
You know, I played this Tim Scott clip a little bit before we connected with you, and he is advocating for a Trump presidency because he said that 40% of African-American men are willing to vote for Trump because they get it. That's not, to me, identity politics. That's just acknowledging what the people see and what the people know. And you've been a strong advocate for how obvious of a choice that Americans have between what Biden offers the economy here and what Donald Trump would offer.
So we had an item in our hotline today, which I hope people get. Just go to unleashprosperity.com, and you can get that for free every morning. And one of the lead items was about this very subject of, one thing's really interesting is happening with the American electorate, which is that more and more Hispanic and Black voters are saying they're open-minded to voting Republican this time. And, those are two groups that, in the past, Democrats have had a lock grip on Hispanic and Blacks, and more are telling pollsters, well, I'm leaning more in the Republican camp now. And so Tim Scott is not making this up. Now, 40% would be a big number. Yeah. If he's right about that, then Trump's going to win a huge reelection, because right now, I think Trump only won 15 or 16 or 17% last time. So, but then the question is, why is this happening? Why are Hispanics and Black voters more open-minded to Trump this time? And I think it's exactly the reason that you just said. They're doing the compare and contrast. How did I do economically under Trump? Really well. That is to say, Black and Hispanics had the lowest poverty rate ever under Trump. They had the lowest unemployment rate ever under Trump, and they had big income gains. So from an economic standpoint, Trump was, a very positive force for minorities. And so under Biden, not so much so, because inflation is eating away at their take-home pay. So that could be a game changer. Now, by the way, the group that's moving more towards Biden is highly or what I call the overeducated, people with advanced degrees, and people who are what I call the elite of this country that are moving more towards Biden. And so you're seeing a kind of restructuring, a reshuffling of the deck, where more middle class, working class people are for Trump, and the elites are for Biden.
Yeah, I love that you said overeducated, because there is a clear, in my opinion, choice for the people who want to expand, at minimum sustain, but expand the role of academia in our country. And the amount, it always drives me crazy to hear about student loan forgiveness. Nobody ever wants to tackle why it costs so ungodly much and making them compete more. Instead, they say, whatever the cost is, we'll loan it to you, or we'll forgive it. That's outrageous.
Yeah, and a couple of responses to that. Number one, there was a study that just came out recently. Roughly 90% of of the political donations of university professors are going to Democrats, not Republicans.
90%.
So this is a highly, highly liberal group of people. But then, you made the point that a lot of working class people are seeing, a benefit to Trump, and they are kind of splintering off much more. Even union households, even though the union bosses and the big labor bosses are generally endorsing Trump. I mean, Biden, the rank and file members are tending to vote for Trump, and that was true in 2016 and 2020. So we'll see if that, continues. Look, we have 9 months to go, right? So there's still a lot of decisions being made, and a lot of people haven't made up their minds. I really think right now this election is a toss-up. I really do. I think it could go either way. I think, the betting markets have Trump a slight favorite right now. But Biden's speech, I was, everybody has different opinions about it. I mean, on the one hand, I was impressed that he got through it. I was wondering whether he could actually get through an hour-long speech. He got through it, but it was angry and it was incredibly partisan. I mean, there was not a single line in that speech that reached out to conservative Republican voters that I saw. Did you see any?
No, it was. You could definitely tell. I definitely felt at the end like he was talking to people who are opposed to me.
It was a campaign rally speech,
Yeah.
And that's not really appropriate. I mean, I don't know. Everybody has different opinions, but I don't think that's really appropriate for a State of the Union speech. It's so ironic, isn't it, that this is the guy who 4 years ago was, I'm going to unify the country. Was that a unifying speech?
No, it was an isolating speech for half of the America. People who you were talking about, like the rank and file union members, they're not. He did throw out quite a bit to the Michigan folks, to the Wisconsin folks. You could see. Yeah. But he was talking about
those are the key states.
Yes. Yeah. You could tell. Me living in the state of Illinois, I think he thinks he's got this state covered.
I would say he's probably right about that. My home state, but it's basically and he even did a shout out to the UAW, president who's endorsed Biden. But I guarantee you, the vast majority of UAW workers, they see that these electric vehicles that Biden wants everybody to buy, they're made in China.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're smart enough. They understand it. Biden talked a lot about the corporate tax rate. He wants people to pay their fair share. And when he was talking about that, I was like, I got to ask Steve Moore, what do you make of the very emphatic, the people who loved it called it fiery, I called it scary speech that he was giving about who's going to be paying what taxes?
Well, this is the first president in a long time who's basically running for president promising to raise taxes. I mean, boy, that's not a very strong pitch. You're going to raise taxes on Americans. And by the way, is there anybody who really believes that when they always say that, right? Oh, just the top 1%, they're going to pay all the taxes, da-da-da. But it always ends up, the middle class that gets bashed by these tax increases. It's funny. Somebody sent me just the other day a 1975 appearance by Ronald Reagan before he was president on the old Johnny Carson show, and Reagan was saying, he was talking about business taxes because back then the Democrats were talking about raising taxes on businesses. When you raise taxes on businesses, guess who ends up paying for that? The workers and the consumers. They pass those costs on. It's pretty obvious. So you're going to tax the businesses, as my old friend Dick Armey, who was, one of my mentors, and I love that man. He was the House Majority Leader back in the 1990s. He used to say, the thing about liberals is they love jobs, but they hate employers. And you can't have jobs without employers. You're going to tax the people who create the jobs, and you think you're going to get more jobs?
Do you feel like the economic plan that is being offered as an alternative to the campaign speech that he gave in front of the joint Congress there on Thursday, do you think Donald Trump has a fiery response to Joe Biden's economic plan that will affect the American people quickly should he be elected in November?
He'll be ready to go, no question about it. In fact, I just saw the president a couple of weeks ago at Mar-a-Lago. We talked a lot about this, and he's going to be ready to go. And the first time he was elected, came as a big surprise, right? And he wasn't totally ready to go. In other words, he'd been doing all the campaigning, and then all of a sudden he won, and now you've got a government. Well, now if he wins, and I think he probably will, then he's going to be able to hit the ground running. And I said, how long will it take to fix things? He said, give me 6 months. In 6 months, we'll fix it. And people, well, normally when a politician would say that, you'd roll your eyes, right? But actually, he's done it before. He always says that I've done it before. I can do it again. And, people may not like, I always say this on your show, you might not like Donald Trump. You might not like his antics. You might not like some of the crazy things he says, but you got to like the policies and the results. And most people would agree, his policies were quite effective.
Yeah. And you can tell right now that people understand what the contrast is because we're living it at this moment.
Yes, exactly. And that really, Biden, that was an incredibly liberal. So, he basically said, I'm going to raise taxes, I'm going to increase, I'm going to have all these new government giveaway programs, to quote again, Ronald Reagan used to say, a government that's big enough to give you everything you've got is big enough to take everything you've got. And that's the problem. Yeah, the government can give you all these benefits, but the only way the government can give benefits, because the government doesn't create anything, is to take your money first.
Yeah.
So how's that a good deal?
It isn't. And that's why we have you on to remind us every Monday. Steve Moore, thank you for being with us. We always appreciate your time.
Okay, Annie, have a great day. Take care.
You as well. Bye-bye. Distinguished Fellow in Economics at Heritage Foundation and a Trump Economic Advisor. It's always good to be able to connect with Steve Moore, and we're super grateful. He gives us that week appointment on Mondays, 1:05, to come talk to us about the latest. I do appreciate especially his ability to talk to the idea of the corporate tax rate. You want to jack that up or you want to make them pay their fair share. I always want to put up there, like, what percentage of Americans are paying into the system versus what percentage of Americans are just taking from the system, and then let's have the fair share conversation. Yeah? Wouldn't that be nice? I think it would be. Mike Davis, we're going to shift gears, is going to join us when we come back. Now, he's the founder and president of the Article 3 Project, and he is very up on the Trump legal challenges that are being faced. The Fox News sent out a breaking news alert here just recently and is saying that the Manhattan trial, with the Bragg trial, is hopefully going to be delayed, according to the Trump folks. We'll see what the latest is on that, but also really want to know what Mike Davis has to say about the Fonnie Willis situation in Fulton County, Georgia. My understanding is that we are just now sitting and waiting for the results of that, and it could come now, it could come by the end of the week. We're not sure. We'll see what Mike Davis has to say about the direction of those state charges that Donald Trump faces in Georgia. When we come back, don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
I want to talk to you about igotfloor.com. That's Michael's Flooring Outlet's website, igotfloor.com. Flooring shopping is exciting and fun and smart when you take your business to Michael's Flooring Outlet. Check out the other folks. Check out the competition. Michael's is not afraid of what you're going to find, as long as you make sure that you give Michael's opportunity to earn your business before you make the final investment, because they are going to compete and win almost every time when it comes to getting you the flooring that you've been searching for. They have a huge variety of options for you. Tile, laminate, vinyl, hardwood, carpet, the name brands of the flooring that as you've researched this whole process, you've come to say, okay, I think I really want to invest in this quality. You got pets. You know what happens with pets and carpet. You want to make sure that you have flooring that's going to make it so that you don't have to get rid of the pet, because of course that's not happening. You want to have something that's got the top quality, the cleanability, and the longevity that you expect when you make that investment. And they have those brands at Michael's Flooring Outlet, but it's matched with the best customer sales staff in town. They know flooring. They understand and respect the value of your hard-earned dollar, and they put it all together in a wonderful shopping experience to purchase your flooring that you are going to want to tell your friends and family about. If you want to learn more about Michael's Flooring Outlet, you find them online at igotfloored.com.
Okay, so you filed your taxes this year, but you know you have past IRS issues, and now the IRS letters are coming. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. Don't ignore those IRS letters. They're important and give you rights and deadlines to defend yourself. Waiting could cause you to lose those rights. Call the Lance Story Law Firm now and let us help you get ahead of the IRS and defend your rights while you still have time. The Lance Story Law Firm is located here in St. Louis, so take the first step and hire a tax resolution attorney. We've made it super easy to schedule your free consultation in person, or you can do a phone call and save travel time. Remember, Remember, IRS problems are legal problems. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Land Story Law Firm. Call today at 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120. Or go visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Mark Cox, join me, Annie Fry, and Mark Reardon, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group. They're holding their next Protecting Your Retirement educational event Tuesday, March 26th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online at retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement or already retired and wondering what to do with your life savings? Are you concerned about market volatility that's likely to occur as we get closer to the election? Would you like to know why linking to the market is smarter and safer than owning the market? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any losses and provide more income than your current plan? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you can't afford to miss this event.
Protect your retirement nest egg and join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, March 26th at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25-RHINO.com.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for a free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
The Mark Reardon Show.
Our own United States Senator from Missouri, Eric Schmidt.
I think people are coming to the realization that these are not just theoretical discussions. The Biden administration is doing all the things the left has dreamed about for a long time, and it's been a disaster.
Weekdays from 3 to 6. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
The legal issues aren't legal issues. They're Biden issues. Biden put Fannie, beautiful Fannie, who's turned out to be now a corrupt district attorney, but in my opinion, they're almost all corrupt. All of the stuff that you see is weaponized government. The DA in New York is being run by the DOJ. They put their top person into the DA's office. All of this stuff, and frankly, I get a lot of credit for it. I think I'm much more popular now because they did it. It backfired on them. They've weaponized government.
If you had beautiful Fannie on your bingo card for today, you can now mark that square off from Donald Trump. The latest news here, this is from Fox News, lawyers for former President Trump filed a motion Monday to adjourn the trial stemming from Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg's charges related to hush money payments. This is Stormy Daniels. Check that off your bingo card for today, too, until the Supreme Court rules on presidential immunity. Well, we want to talk to a legal expert, because I certainly am not one. Mike Davis joins us now, founder and president of the Article 3 Project. Thank you, Mike, for being back with us today. There's always so much to talk to you about. We're grateful for your time here on our show.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. I want to give you the opportunity to comment first on this latest news about the Alvin Bragg hush money trial. This is one that doesn't get talked about as much. What is this trial about, and do you think that they will be able to postpone it till after the immunity ruling, which might come at the end of June?
So remember, the Democrats impeached Trump twice.
for nonsense. They've indicted him 4 times for non-crimes. They've illegally, unconstitutionally placed gag orders on him. They're trying to bankrupt him for non-fraud in New York. They're trying to have Jean Carroll take $100 million away from him for her bogus case against Trump, where the New York legislature changed the law just so Jean Carroll could go after Trump. That all backfired, as Trump just said in your opening. Politically, it's going to propel him back to the White House. Then the Democrats tried to throw the legal Hail Mary and just take Trump off the ballot. Nothing screams democracy like disqualifying your political opponent. Out of the 4 cases against Trump, the 4 criminal cases, the 4 criminal indictments, remember, these are the first indictments ever against a former president. They waited 30 months to bring these indictments, and they're clearly coordinating, like President Trump said, and they're going to lead with this Manhattan hush money case with this Soros-funded Manhattan DA, Alvin Bragg. Remember, with this case, it is a businessman settling a nuisance claim, and Alvin Bragg has now turned this somehow into felony campaign finance violations. Remember that the prior Manhattan DA declined to bring charges. The Manhattan U.S. Attorney declined to bring charges. The Federal Election Commission declined to bring charges. Alvin Bragg himself declined to bring charges until Matthew Colangelo got sent from a senior political appointee in the Biden Justice Department. He was in the number 3 office, the number 2 to the number 3 in the Biden Justice Department, and he got deployed to New York, and that's when they resurrected this zombie case against Trump. And this trial is supposed to start on March 25th, 2 weeks from today. This is going to backfire on the Democrats, Biden and his lawfare, because when the American people tune into this case, they're going to see that it is an utter sham. Even many Democrats know that this case is a bogus case. It's lawfare. It's election interference.
Yeah, that's the way it looks from my non-legal eagle position. But I think that American voters right now who are comparing their lived experience under a Biden administration, they remember the prosperity they had under a Trump administration. The more and more that these trials, the 4 criminal charges, there's been multiple civil charges as well, the more that is uncovered, the more obvious that the political angle is. And we're seeing that in Fulton County, Georgia as well with Fani Willis. I guess we're waiting on the ruling from the judge in that county and what happens next. I'd love to just know what your thoughts have been on this trial. I don't think we've talked to you about it since the last time we spoke. What do you think about what has happened so far and what's going to happen with this judge?
There's no question that if this judge, this Kemp appointee, follows the law, Fani Willis should be disqualified. Her office should be disqualified. And this case should be dismissed without prejudice. And they can bring in a new prosecutor who can make an independent assessment on whether to bring these charges against Trump and 18 others. Because remember, Fani Willis had an illegal financial stake in the criminal prosecution that is absolutely unethical. It's absolutely illegal. She hired her unqualified boyfriend, Nathan Wade, her secret boyfriend. She destroyed his marriage. She paid him $250 an hour, $700,000 in counting. He colluded with the Biden White House, including the Biden White House counsel. He billed Fulton County for his meetings with the Biden White House counsel and the Biden White House. He also billed 24 hours in a single day, which I don't know how that's possible, but it's $700,000. And then Big Fanny is getting kickbacks. She's taken these trips with Nathan Wade around the world to Napa, to the Caribbean, to Belize. She's become quite the world traveler because she's taking illegal kickbacks, bribery. She's lied about this, which is perjury. She's gotten other people to lie about this, which is subornation of perjury. She's obstructed justice. This is a disaster in Fulton County. Big Fanny's in big trouble. And the lawfare, if this judge actually does his job, this Fulton County case is going to go away.
We're speaking with Mike Davis. He's the founder and president of the Article 3 Project. On Twitter, at Article 3 Project. I'd encourage you to go to the website as well, article3project.org. You mentioned here this colluding with the Biden White House, and I think that this is a wrinkle that has come out of this story that from where I sit, I want to know more about this. What have we discovered through this trial that Fani Willis or Wade, what kind of collusion do we have evidence of, and what does that imply?
Well, this is how stupid Nathan Wade is. He actually billed his time for 2 meetings with the Biden White House, including the Biden White House counsel. So he's obviously, and this is pre-indictment, before they brought this unprecedented indictment against Trump and 18 others for the non-crime of objecting to a presidential election, which is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887. If it were a crime to object to a presidential election, Democrats would be in prison for objecting to Republican wins in 1968, 2000, 2004, and 2016. You don't see Al Gore and John Kerry and Hillary Clinton in prison for objecting. But so Nathan Wade is so stupid, he actually built his time for meeting with the Biden White House, including the White House counsel. And so that's clearly about this case before the indictment because he built his time for this case. There would be no other reason he could have billed for his meetings with the Biden White House, including the Biden White House counsel, if it were not about this case. So that is just very clear evidence that Biden and his staff are colluding with these prosecutors. Biden has his fingerprints on all 4 of these unprecedented, bogus criminal indictments against Trump, whether it's Matthew Colangelo going to Bragg's office, whether it's Nathan Wade colluding with the Biden White House counsel, or whether it's the Jonathan Sue, Biden's deputy White House counsel at the time, waiving President Trump's claim of executive privilege on behalf of President Biden, which led to the unprecedented, unnecessary, unlawful raid on President Trump, the office of the former president, for presidential records he's allowed to have under the Presidential Records Act, right? And they made it look like it was a counter-espionage or a counter-intel operation when it was all about getting records that Trump declassified and lawfully had under the Presidential Records Act that were very damning to Biden and Obama and Hillary and the deep state, the Russian collusion docs.
Man, there's so much more that I want to know about that specific wrinkle. But meanwhile, in Fulton County, Georgia, while we're waiting on the judge to rule on the specifics of this trial, we can kind of tell right now that Willis and Wade are the feature clowns in the Fulton County circus there. But I'll read to you a comment from one of our listeners. Does any of this Willis stuff change the evidence against Trump? How so? If they are thrown off the case, the question is, what about the evidence that they have piled up against Donald Trump in the Fulton County, Georgia case?
Well, I mean, if you actually brought in a qualified, sane prosecutor and not Big Fanny and her dumb boyfriends, when you get independent prosecutors looking at this, they're going to say that this is a bogus case against Trump, because even if everything they're alleging against Trump is true, that he tried to pressure people to not certify the election, that is allowed by the Electoral Count Act of 1887. It's also allowed by the First Amendment. It is not a crime to object to a presidential election. It's only a crime to object to a presidential election in third world Marxist hellholes like North Korea and Zimbabwe, and now Washington, D.C. and Atlanta.
Founder and president of the Article 3 Project, Mike Davis, speaking with you right now. Last kind of set of questions here. 9-0 ruling on the ballot. I know that you were heavily involved in covering and paying attention to what was going on in Colorado as you were licensed to practice law there. Huge ruling from the Supreme Court, unanimous. Now we are waiting on the immunity ruling, which could come as late as the end of June. Do you have any anticipation on how this immunity ruling will go and when we might hear about it?
So members of Congress are immune both from civil and criminal prosecution for their official acts, including the outer perimeter of their official acts. That's under the speech or debate clause in the U.S. Constitution and elsewhere. Federal judges are also immune both civilly and criminally. Right now, the president is only immune from civil prosecution because we've never had in 250 years a former president indicted by his political enemy and his successor. So the Supreme Court will have to decide that the former president, that the president of the United States, any president of the United States, is immune from criminal prosecution for their official acts, not their private acts, their official acts. And then I think the Supreme Court will remand this back to D.C. Obama Judge Tanya Shukin to have an evidentiary hearing to figure out what did Jack Smith charge Trump with that is in his personal capacity versus his official capacity. And one key example is that one of the predicate facts in Jack Smith's indictment is they said that President Trump contemplated firing his acting attorney general. Well, guess what? You can't do that as a private citizen. You can only do that as the president of the United States, so he would be immune from prosecution from firing his acting attorney general, or as the commander-in-chief, as the president and commander-in-chief, he's in charge of the D.C. National Guard. Private citizens are not in charge of the D.C. National Guard, only the president. So if they're trying to say that Trump didn't send in the Guard fast enough, or he didn't send 10,000 troops, or did or didn't, that would be immune from criminal prosecution under presidential immunity. And I would say this, if the Supreme Court does not establish that the president is immune from criminal prosecution for his official acts, not his private acts, then they're going to destroy the presidency and destroy the country. Because when Trump is back in office, think about that. If the Trump 47 Justice Department indicts President Obama for his drone strike on 2 American citizens, including a minor, an extrajudicial drone strike, they could also, the Trump 47 Justice Department could also charge Judge David Barron on the First Circuit, who was at the time Obama's legal advisor, who gave Obama the legal advice that he could drone strike these 2 American citizens, including a minor. You could also charge Biden for his illegal paroling of dangerous, violent migrants into the country who go on to rape and murder American citizens. I don't think the Democrats want to go down this path, and I don't think the Supreme Court should allow it.
Well, if it's ruled on late in June, I guess, is there enough time to litigate this before the actual case, before the election, in order to have a ruling, a charge, a guilty, not guilty verdict on the president before the election?
It takes after the Supreme Court rules, it takes 32 days for the lower courts to it's called issue the mandate. And the reason they do that is so parties can file a motion for rehearing or reconsideration with the Supreme Court. So generally, it takes 32 days. A justice or the court can waive that 32 days, but I can't think of an instance where that's happened on a matter of this magnitude. So even I think the Supreme Court is going to rule for Trump and say that he has presidential immunity from criminal prosecution for his official acts, remand it to Judge Chutkan for the evidentiary hearing. I think it's very unlikely that they're going to be able to try Trump in D.C. before the election. There's a decent chance that this New York trial, this Alvin Bragg trial for the hush money case, as they call it, settling a nuisance claim, there's a good chance that could be tried before the election. But I don't think Democrats want to lead with that case because it's going to backfire spectacularly on them.
Well, Mike Davis, you always break it down for us in such a wonderful way. We appreciate your time today. Hope to have you back very soon.
Thank you, Annie.
Thank you so much. Mike Davis, he's the founder and president of the Article 3 Project. Grateful to have his time here on the show today. And we had one segment where we had a beautiful Fanny and a big Fanny. You are here on the election timeline. But it's on the Annie Fry Show, and we're grateful for you being here as well. Join us on the Annie Fry YouTube channel, Frey. Type in my name, St. Louis 97.1, whatever, on YouTube, and you'll see that we're broadcasting live. And in the chat part, if you open up the live chat, we have a poll question there. We do every day. And today's is, do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? We want to know what you think. Does it make you support them more, support them less, or it doesn't really impact your support whatsoever? I'm going to ask Ryan that question when we come back from this quick break. You just got done hearing to Mike Davis, and right before that, Steve Moore. And we'll get your thoughts on the YouTube live chat poll later on in the 2 o'clock hour when we give you your results. Wiggins back in studio in a minute. Don't go away.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show. The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Point Pest Control, my best friends in the world, because they got rid of spiders in my house. And they do a lot more than that, but that was what was important to me. I was excited to have them come out to my home and to treat my home inside, outside, upside, downside, left side, right side, everywhere. I just said, you just do your thing. And they said to me, do you want us to treat your attic? And I was like, oh, I don't know. Do you have time? They're like, we can do it. And I was like, treat it. So they came in, sprayed my home for spiders, of course, but any of the other bugs that you might see milling about in your home, creepy, crawly, bleh, this is like ants time in the spring when the weather starts to get warmer. You see different types of bugs crawling in and out of your home. Get rid of them with Point Pest Control. This is my go-to. I am a happy customer, a very satisfied customer. They did tell me, I think it was late fall when they came out, they said, if you see a spider, call us and we'll come back and spray again. Just one. I have not had to call them to come back. We had 2 wolf spiders in our house within a matter of 5 minutes that we saw. There have literally been no spider sightings in our home since then. And that did not happen without Point Pest Control. I trust them in my home, and they have been wonderful for me, and I hope that you will invite them into your home. We're grateful that they've partnered with us and sponsored this show, and I want you to make sure that your home is spider-free, is ant-free, is mouse-free. Get rid of the mosquitoes once April comes around. When you mention the Annie Fry Show, when you contact them, I'm going to give you the number here in a second. You mention Annie Fry, you're going to get a 10% extra discount on top of any extra specials that are out there. So be sure to tell them that I sent you. Say, Annie sent me. 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023. It's Point Pest Control, point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's corporate cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp's software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp. Just go to ramp.com/free. Ramp.com/free. ramp.com/free.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-293-8030. That's 800-293-8030. 800-293-8030.
Tune in to the Home Improvement Show, sponsored by Mosby Building Arts, Saturdays 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 for expert advice on remodeling, design, and construction. This live Q&A show begins at noon, or find podcasts at mosbybuildingarts.com.
Mortgage rates have finally dropped. That's right. Golden Oak has 5.375% fixed rates available right now. Our average cash-out customer saves over $1,000 a month. Call today and take advantage of our 5.375 fixed rate. Call 314-567-GOLD. That's 314-567-GOLD.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
5.934 APR. FHA 15-year 20% equity qualified credit. Additional terms apply. NMLS 114937.
Hey, the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll today is about text messages from political campaigns. Do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? Let us know your thoughts on this. I have a feeling we'll have some pretty passionate thoughts about that one. That is the poll today. Also, if you're a Kenny Chesney fan, stick around. We're giving away our first pair of tickets this week in the 2 o'clock hour. That is just around the corner. 1:47 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Mark Cox here. Join me and keynote speaker Senator Josh Hawley Friday, March 22nd for the 2024 St. Charles County Lincoln Day Dinner. We'll have drinks, dinner, and thought-provoking discussions. Tickets are on sale now. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
listening to The Annie Fry Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
Passenger side, I slide on in vinyl seats.
Follow Annie on
off
Twitter
the heat
at
of
Annie
the
Fry
sun.
Show.
Chewing on a Slim Jim, can't stop thinking about him. Yeah, 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 he's the one. Yeah, 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 he's the one. Ooh, life's so sweet right here in the passenger seat. Ooh.
Pennsylvania, I have a message for you. Send me to Congress that I can support this right, and I promise you, if we take back Congress, we will restore Roe v. Wade as the law of the land.
A few things with that statement from the president. First of all, you can't restore something as the law of the land when it was never the law of the land, which is why the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade, because they legislated from the bench. Yes?
That's correct.
Secondly,
yes. Fact check, true.
This is a common shock. I agree we should send him to Congress.
Yeah, but like maybe a state Congress.
Thumbs up. I don't care. He can go to Congress.
He can go to big Congress.
Yes, he can go to big Congress.
Okay.
He can be the congressman from Delaware, Pennsylvania, Illinois, for all I care. It's not really. Actually, it would be an upgrade.
Wouldn't that be amazing? He gets done being president either this year or 4 years from now.
Runs for Congress.
Runs for Congress in Illinois.
Come on over, man.
Or anywhere, really, for that
you got
matter.
a D next to your name, we'll elect anybody.
The machine gets behind Joe Biden for Congress.
Does Donald Trump ever accidentally list the wrong thing he's running for?
I don't think so. I think he knows he's been the president.
It's the only thing he's been.
Yeah,
he's not a
it's
freaking
easier.
career politician. Gosh. Everything that Joe Biden came out and has done and said since the State of the Union is like, we're gonna push it up. We're putting all our chips in the State of the Union pot. We know we're gonna have to reap what we sow in the next coming day. I don't know when the time runs out on collecting everything that you put into the pot on Thursday and having to reap the consequences of that. It's happening. He was so fiery and he was so full of vigor, and he finished the whole thing with energy and speed, maybe. And
Mountain Dew and speed.
And yeah, he was like a sixth grader on Mountain Dew. Heck, it might have been Surge. It's outrageous to look at how excited the libs were for the fact that he made it through the speech, and now he's running for Congress and nobody cares.
I know. It's so funny because it was like after the State of the Union, I think that guy might have been up for another 48 hours and was just, I just pictured him walking around the White House doing Ric Flair, like just, woo!
Yeah.
Like he couldn't come down off of it. And then once he has, oh man, it's been rough.
Well, that is one text message that I will reply to. Should Joe Biden run for Congress, I will click the link and vote yes.
Donate $5.
Yeah, I'll donate 10. Do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign, Ryan?
I'm going to say no, they don't, because I've been very, very careful of what I reply to, knowing that they would harass me forever if I did reply.
I'm afraid to say stop because I think it's just going to
Oh, you're real. Yeah. Because they'll just keep going.
They'll realize, yeah, exactly. It's like when you get the phone calls where there is nobody talking, and then you go hello, and they're like, okay, this is a person. They've marked your number.
Yeah. They're empty for about 5 seconds, then they go, and then somebody starts talking and giving you a script.
No, just the idea is the phone call comes in and there's silence until you say hello.
Oh.
And that is a way for them to identify your phone number as a legitimate phone number when you voice hello.
See, I never thought about that. I thought it was always the person on the other end of the phone call was waiting for you to say hello because they're just sitting there in some call center and they finally press the button and start talking after they hear you.
I think anywho. I don't think that what I'm saying is the only spam call that exists, but I was, when I brought it up, referring to that kind of, so it's no impact to you?
No impact.
So there's no amount of text messages that could be sent to you by a campaign that would affect your support for a campaign.
Well, hypothetically, yes. And it would make me less supportive. I just don't get them because I've been so careful that they don't have an impact on me as is.
Brad, you already said no impact.
Yeah, no impact. But like I said, I don't get enough of them. I mean, they would really have to email me or text message me a lot to get me to go, that's it. I'm not voting for this.
Uncle Dean says on Twitch, texts have no impact. Flyers or letters that offer what they are focused on. That is what I looked at. Well, I was trashing flyers earlier in the show, but Uncle Dean is looking at them, so maybe there is some investment worthy of his interest level here. Steve said, I delete every political text I get without even looking at it, then type stop. I have done that too, but then again, I feel like I'm verifying that I'm a human person and they're just going to put me in a different database. That's what I want to know. What did I do? This is the thing that frustrates me the most. I probably signed up for something at one point of interest to Trump or the GOP, and boy, did they take that. They're like, we're going to get every drip of energy out of this that we possibly can. I regret signing up in the first place. I regret it. I will never do it again. I learned my lesson. I was dumb. This is my fault. I'm the one who messed it up. I will never do it again. Fedora says text messages annoy me, but they don't affect my vote. Amy says on the poll, no influence on my vote, but I sure don't appreciate the quantity or the chastising tones. Like I read in the first one, it's like, hey, Annie, what kind of shoddy American are you? We texted you 5,000 times and you haven't taken this survey yet. What's your problem? Why do you hate America? Why are you a communist? And I'm like, maybe because the text messages like this. They drive me nuts. My vote in this is yes, I'm less supportive because I am 100% less likely to participate in their asks or donate money or anything because of the text messages.
I hear that, and I think that is where a lot of people are. I'm less likely to give. I guess actually I could say that I'm less supportive because I've avoided giving so that my number and address and everything wouldn't be on lists. So, Brad, maybe you and I could reconsider now because we are not going down that road on purpose so that we don't end up in a database.
I didn't say I didn't get them because of the same reason you don't.
Well, that's true. The only ones that I do get are from Illinois local politicians. So I must have responded to a poll at some point in the last 10 years because that's the only area of political text I get.
Lori says no, as I will vote for Trump no matter what. So no amount of political texts or emails will make me change my mind. Chris says, I chose no impact. Luckily, I don't get many at all. And Vicky says, I don't get any campaign texts, and I love it. So what did I do to offend these gods?
I don't know, because my wife gets them.
I take surveys. I'm on a list of probably willing to participate, but I would like a word with these people in a room where I can have my thoughts be heard. And then after my thoughts are heard, I'll take your freaking survey. And I won't be mad about it. I like to have my voice obviously be heard. I just don't feel like the bullying tactics and text messages is the way. But keep them coming. Keep your thoughts coming. We'll be back with the 2 o'clock hour. Don't go away.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now, your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash that you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with the TrueHold Sell and Stay Leaseback program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to TrueHold while its value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And TrueHold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. TrueHold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a TrueHold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-9993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Air Comfort Service is waiting for your phone call right now. If you check out 314-513-0091, jot that number down for a moment when you have a little time to call Air Comfort Service and discuss your commercial repair. Maybe you've called your people and they came out and they gave you a quote or a bid and you're like, oh, that's pretty steep. Reach out to Air Comfort Service and get a free second opinion on a heat exchanger or compressor repair when you call 314-513-0091. Air Comfort Service, who you probably often associate with residential repairs and installations, they absolutely do commercial work. They do a lot of commercial work around the St. Louis area. And when you call them, they can come out and give you that free second opinion and make sure that the first quote that you got was a fair one, or potentially maybe they get you a better quote and better service, of course. 314-513-0091 for all of your HVAC needs. Reach out to them online as well, aircomfortservice.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The biggest threats facing the U.S. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. A worldwide threats hearing just getting underway on Capitol Hill.
The intelligence community is going to give the public a very rare glimpse inside what they believe America is really up against in 2024. This is an annual hearing.
Fox's Jillian Turner at the State Department, the Director of National Intelligence, CIA and FBI directors among those testifying, focusing in part on Chinese efforts to attack U.S. infrastructure. Some Republican lawmakers argue the surge at the southern border has become a top national security threat. A record number of Americans, 55%, call illegal immigration a critical threat to the U.S. in a new Gallup poll. Another 31% calling it an important threat to the vital interests of the U.S. in the next 10 years. President Biden not giving up on a border security deal that stalled in the U.S. Senate, saying it would bring order to the border.
It has the funds that many of our cities badly need as well.
Speaking earlier to the League of Cities before a trip to New Hampshire on health care costs, calling out Republicans for trying to repeal Obamacare. This as he pitches tax cuts for families and tax hikes for the rich and corporations.
The president's budget proposal would create a homebuyer's tax credit worth nearly $10,000 and expand prescription drugs negotiated by Medicare to reduce cost. Corporate tax rates would increase, and incomes on $1 billion or more would be taxed at a minimum of 25%. White House budgets have little chance of becoming law and rarely advance in the House and Senate, but the proposal will serve as a campaign statement as President Biden makes the case for re-election and a Democrat-controlled Congress in November.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Housing and Urban Development Secretary Marcia Fudge is resigning later this month, only the second original Biden cabinet member to go. The president commending her passion and focus on increasing economic opportunity. America is listening to Fox News.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
What's up? I'm tired of feeling so bloated.
That used to be me. Then I got this.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion. A probiotic, right?
Yeah, it works naturally with your gut to help soothe occasional bloating and gas. Plus, it has vitamin B12 to aid digestion by helping convert food to cellular energy. 2 benefits, 1 capsule.
Align Bloating Relief plus food digestion from the #1 doctor-recommended probiotic brand. Get $5 off at alignprobiotics.com.
Oh, this cold.
Honey?
Honey?
Honey, you need DayQuil Severe Honey.
DayQuil Severe Honey gives you powerful cold and flu symptom relief with a honeylicious taste, because life doesn't stop for a cold.
Okay, I'm ready to go.
Now I'm getting a cold.
Honey.
Try DayQuil Severe Honey for powerful cold and flu relief. DayQuil Severe with honey flavor. The daytime coughing, aching, stuffy head, fever, honeylicious, power through your day medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Lots of sunshine as we go through the afternoon, the high about 68. Remember, with the time change, the warmest time of day now is about 3:30 in the afternoon. Tonight, clear skies for evening plans with that added sunlight. Temperatures will slowly drop out of the 60s and 42 for the low on Tuesday. Mostly sunny and excellent 72 for the high on Tuesday afternoon. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This may be your last chance to get the new carefree villa home of your dreams at the Preserve in Afton. Our homes offer a lifestyle of convenience and relaxation without the burdens of lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. The Preserve is conveniently located at Watson and McKenzie Road with sales prices starting in the 480s. We will build to order or select from one of our 7 move-in ready homes at substantial savings and special financing in the 4s. Hurry, these deals won't last. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
The Retirement Advisory Group, Thomas Helbig, Bob Kershaw, Tammy Kershaw, they're back. They're back at the Plaza Frontenac, and the date that you need to put on your calendar, Tuesday, March 26th. I'm going to be there. That's coming up here in a few weeks, and this is a free event for you. Free, F-R-E-E, free. All you have to do is sign up, give them a call so that they can make sure they have a spot reserved for you. There's limited seating in the room. It's pretty much that simple. The event is March 26th, which is a Tuesday. It takes place at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30 p.m., and you go and sit and listen to what they have to say about how they can help you protect your retirement. They want to help you understand how each of their clients that they've ever had, none of them have ever lost a penny, and they don't want you to have to lose pennies or much more than that either. I think we all remember what happened in 2008, and it was a very, very untimely situation for people who might be just like you, who are about to enter into retirement. Maybe you just have. Make the smart moves and be prepared to transition from working into paying yourself with everything you've saved up. And go to this free event to learn how the Retirement Advisory Group can help you. I'll be there, so will Mark and Mark from 6 to 6:30. The event starts at 6:30. You can call 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494 and reserve your spot. Find them online at retirementkey.com.
Does your bathroom feel old and outdated? Are you dreaming of a bathroom makeover but think it's too expensive and time-consuming? Then it's time to call 1-800-REMODEL and give your bathroom a beautiful new look in just days without having to make your first payment for up to 18 months. When you call 1-800-REMODEL, you'll be connected to a top pre-screened certified bathroom remodeling professional who specializes in beautifying bathrooms quickly and affordably. We've helped tens of thousands of homeowners looking to upgrade their homes, and we can help you turn that old space into a showplace. With mortgage rates so high, now is not the best time to sell your home. So, enjoy living in it with an upgraded bathroom and make your home more valuable at the same time. Why wait? Give your bathroom a beautiful, clean new look in as little as 3 days with no payment for up to 18 months. Enjoy now, pay later. Call 1-800-REMODEL now. That's 1-800-REMODEL. Financing subject to qualification.
Do you have multiple years of unfiled taxes or owe more than $8,000? The attorneys at Allies Tax Relief are your ally and will stop the IRS from garnishing your wages or them levying your bank account. Call 800-230-5174.
Learn to retire in 5 years or less through real estate investing. Learn how, learn now. Let Lifestyles Unlimited show you how. Live in St. Louis, 2 days only. Hilton Frontenac, April 27th and 28th. Go to GiveMeTotalFreedom.com. That's GiveMeTotalFreedom.com.
Shows that make a difference in your day.
Your home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. The Annie Fry Show YouTube live chat poll of the day is sponsored by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show
America. My name is Katie Britt, and I have the honor of serving the great people of Alabama. But tonight, I'll be auditioning for the part of Scary Mom. And I'll be performing an original monologue called This Country is Hell. You see, I'm not just a senator. I'm a wife, a mother, and the craziest in the Target parking lot.
I'd still vote for her over Joe Biden. And listen, that's the SNL skit parodying Katie Britt, who is the very young Republican from Alabama in the Senate, who gave a very bizarre response to Joe Biden's very bizarre speech on Thursday. Here's the rest of it.
I'm worried about the future of our children, and this is why I've invited you into this strange, empty kitchen. Because Republicans wanted me to appeal to women voters, and women love kitchen. But seriously, my husband Wesley and I just watched President Biden's speech, and what I saw was the performance of a permanent politician. But me, I'm not performing. I'm not.
If Katie Britt walks away with this from anything, they got Scarlett Johansson to play her. That's a win. Good grief. If you think about all of the different politicians who have been parodied on Saturday Night Live, if the person that they get to do your parody in passing, she did a great job at the parody, is Scarlett Johansson, you need to take the W. You need to just walk away and be like, Scarlett Johansson over here. Me? Yes. You? Dana Carvey. That's a win. And then you need to just never do that speech like that again. I mean, honestly, the Republicans and Katie Britt, I feel bad for Katie Britt. I feel really bad for her. I wish she would come out. She was supposed to be on Shannon Bream's show on Sunday. Did you see that at all?
I know she was out doing the rounds, but I never saw any particular interview that she did.
What rounds? Who else was she on?
I don't know. Fox News, it may have been Shannon Bream. I just know she was on there at some point. I thought she was on there multiple times, but I'm not sure.
Well, there's only been one Sunday, and Shannon Bream has one show.
Yeah, but I mean, I thought she was also elsewhere on Fox News this weekend, but I didn't pay close enough attention to know where.
She needs to be out. The Republicans need to be out handling it and putting it to bed and acknowledging that it didn't come off the way they intended. Because the message, I still don't know what her message was. And Joe Biden's speech in and of itself was still enough message to me to know I don't want any more of this. But Scarlett Johansson going on there and parodying Katie Britt is a win for Katie Britt in the midst of a few losses that she's piled up here. And some of the things that Scarlett Johansson was saying as Katie Britt are still kind of at the heart of the issue. The idea that Joe Biden is a professional politician, or however she phrased it. And there are moms out there right now that are frustrated with the way government is infiltrating the home. It's, to me, the line about Republicans thinking that women belong in the kitchen, which has been said over and over and over again, is funny to me because I don't actually believe that. It's funny because I don't take it seriously. And, you know, if everybody can laugh at the joke, then you know that there's maybe an element of ironic truth to the history of it. But I know a lot of Republican women who have husbands who make the food in their house. And I know a lot of Republican women who make all the food in the house because they love to make food. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be in the kitchen. There's something wrong with someone telling you that your place is in the kitchen. But I don't see the Republican Party doing that. Did you guys think that she was funny?
Yeah, I thought it was all right. It's weird, though, to watch a good actress try to be a bad actress because it usually doesn't come across. I don't know if
hard.
If you've ever gone to a karaoke night with somebody who's a good singer and they try to kind of dumb it down a little bit, try to not blow everybody out of the water, and they just can't do it.
Is that when we've seen you do karaoke? Is that what you're doing?
No,
you're just trying to dumb it down so that you don't make the people in the dive bar feel bad.
I was not saying anything about myself here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
We know you guys should know that he loves to sing Dixie Chicks at karaoke. That's his fave.
I would sing that right now just to
Mhm.
prove you right, but I cannot even think of a Dixie Chicks song.
You always sing Goodbye Earl.
That's the one. Goodbye, Earl. Goodbye, Earl.
See, he's dumbing it down
See
right
you
now
later,
before your
Earl.
eyes.
That's how that one goes.
There's no see you later. Unless it's in hell. Which nobody sings about.
But I mean, I try to dumb it down a little bit. Like
I
you're
know
saying.
that you never want to blind people with your talent.
No, I don't want to come down off of the mountain with my face shining like Moses. Everybody have to block themselves.
You're a man of the people.
Yeah, I just want to blend in, especially karaoke. You know, as another one, bowling. I just try to blend in.
You had to bring up bowling. I don't know why this happened, but I was scrolling. I think it was on, I don't know. I was scrolling somewhere mindlessly, uselessly. And there's a guy who was he's a professional bowler, and he was doing a trick shot.
I didn't know there was trick shots in
Oh
bowling.
my gosh. Are you serious?
Yeah, really, I didn't know. Thought it
He's
was
trying
pretty
to act like-
straightforward.
trying to act like a man of the people about bowling, too.
Yeah.
He put the first bowling ball down at the front of the lane and started spinning it on the y-axis from like left to right. Well, how do you say
flat spin?
Clockwise?
Well, it could spin. It depends on where you're standing when you're looking at the ball. Anyway, he was trying to spin it, and he was spinning it, I'm going to just say horizontally as opposed to over, like bottom over top, left to right, whatever. And so it's slow, and then he taps the ball down the lane, and it's just slowly rolling down the lane. You're like, okay. But then he comes and he throws a ball, and it hooks around that ball. He creates, it's not a split, but he hits all but the front two pins, like the very front one. I don't know what the numbers are. I would guess 1 and 3, maybe. And then the slow spinning ball goes and hits down the other two. And he acted like he won the World Series afterwards. And I can't get it out of my head.
Well,
like this guy looks like his day job is accounting. No, nothing insulting meant to accountants out there. But this guy, it looks like he knows numbers and button-up shirts. And he also knows bowling trick shots. And that was the highlight of his day. And he celebrated with like fist pumps. And it was like he went down on one knee. And I was like, wow. I don't do anything where I feel like I need to celebrate it that much.
All
but
respect,
that guy was talented and excited.
It sounds like he has a tremendous gift. But my problem is that those aren't legal shots.
They're trick shots.
They're trick shots. It's like Harlem Globetrotters is to basketball.
Can you do that stuff?
No, I don't even try.
Because
once
it's difficult.
once you have form down, you don't mess with that form.
You don't think that the Harlem Globetrotters have form?
They don't have the same form as an NBA player. So once it's like going out there and being Tiger Woods and saying,
You
"Hey,
sure
Tiger
about
Woods,
that, Brad?
why don't you hit a
Tag,
beach ball
you're
instead
in.
or something?" You know, you want to maintain the integrity of
You're taking this
the masters of
average
the sport.
man of the people thing to new heights, which is the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying I do that. I'm just saying
nobody confused you.
That's what some might
No.
say, is what I'm saying. Karaoke's. Have you ever been karaoke?
Yes.
I think I've only done it once, and the worse the person is at singing, the more fun it is. For sure.
Are you bad?
I'm very average, so I'm no fun at karaoke. Because the really good people are fun to listen to. The really bad people are fun to listen to. I just kind of exist.
Are the really bad people fun to listen to?
Oh, yeah. That's why you go. And I mean, we're talking about people who cannot hold a note.
Yeah, but it's only funny if they know it. It's not funny if they don't know it. I have secondhand shame.
Okay. I mean, if they know, as long as they know, which the people I was with definitely knew they weren't good at it.
Ryan just wants people to know deep down he's going to laugh at you.
Yeah. Ahead of time, just
Isn't
know.
karaoke, if someone's up there and they're singing their heart out and they think they're killing it and they're not, they're killing people's eardrums. That's not if they are fully committed to it, thinking they're doing well and they're not, I don't want to watch that. I feel bad.
Gosh, I don't know. I'm real split because I get what you mean, but then I also would probably think it was pretty funny.
He's like, but on the other hand, it's funny.
Yeah. But I wouldn't want them to know I was laughing at them.
Do you have
'cause they would feel
secondhand
bad.
embarrassment? Have you ever watched somebody and just been like, I can't do this? It's like, it's so bad it's not funny?
Yeah, I think so. I can't picture a particular instance. Well, if,
yeah, me neither.
If a play is going very poorly, like a high school play or something, then it's like, oh no, this is bad. Yeah, I guess I could say that.
And then you pull everybody around. You're like, this is bad, right?
This is super funny, but we're not going to laugh, everybody.
Brad, what's your karaoke song?
I don't have one. I don't want to go up there and embarrass myself.
Can you sing?
No.
Ryan would love to hear you.
I know.
Yeah. Let's
and he wants to
karaoke.
laugh at me, so I'm not going to give him the pleasure.
Is this why you don't do it?
Go ahead.
Ryan specifically, yeah. Specifically.
And look, Brad, we're not going to go to one of those little rooms and do karaoke.
No, we're going to a
popular.
big one.
We're going to a big room where everybody can hear.
Yeah, no.
And you can do tequila.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
Okay.
No.
How about once we get to 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, we pick a local American Legion or something like that does karaoke, and we all will go there. We won't get anybody here involved. We don't actually want you to show up. And we all will sing and individually sing a song.
I am fine with that.
All right.
I just made your day, Ryan.
So hard to get out of that.
It's going to be hard to. No, not gosh. It won't be. I'll bring it down a little bit and make sure that everybody's on the same level.
You go before or after?
I'll go last.
Brad.
Brad goes first.
Brad goes first.
You're a pretty good singer, aren't you? Yes, you are.
I'm average.
You can play instruments and stuff. I can play tambourine.
That has everything to do with singing.
You're a musician. I've been in a band. It doesn't mean I'm any good.
I can carry a tune. I'm the type of person who, if I went to do karaoke, could take it one of two ways. If I'm the type of person who can sing a song, I can carry a tune. I could go there and have fun for myself, or I could take the approach like, boy, are you guys in for a treat?
Do that one.
No.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
The second
There
one.
will be 2 whiskeys preceding, and then whatever happens, happens, and then I blame it on the whiskey, which could be the name of the song that I sing.
Okay.
What are you going to sing?
Last train to Clarksville.
Yeah. Clarksville?
Yeah.
I don't know that
I
remix.
almost said Clarksville.
That's 3 whiskeys.
Yeah.
What are you
Or
gonna
I'm a
sing?
believer. It's got to be the Monkees, though.
I'm a believer?
Yeah.
And I saw her face?
Yeah. One of those two. Anything by the Monkees, really. I just don't want a deep cut. I want something that everybody's going to know. But I'll take suggestions.
Brad, what are you singing?
I have no idea.
What's Brad singing, Ryan?
He'll probably have to sing a really deeply emotional ballad.
Like a Celine Dion.
Something like that.
Deep cut.
Yeah.
What's like
Sing me some Whitney Houston.
It's an 8-minute song.
Yeah, I Will Always Love You. Do that one.
All right. We'll take your suggestions of what we should sing at
Please.
10,000. I got to set a timeline, though.
Yeah, it's not going to be when we're all a decade from now hitting
Yeah.
10,000.
I'm 85 years old. I don't know. We'll
We
think
made it,
about it.
guys.
We'll provide a few stipulations around this because you have to have the incentive to get it going. We'll
Yeah.
see. All right, let's take a quick break. We want to know what you think. Do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? Yes. More supportive? Yes. Less supportive or no impact? The Andy Fry YouTube channel, you can go there and vote. The live chat section of today's live broadcast is where you vote. And you can tell us, what should Brad and Ryan sing for karaoke? I guess you could throw in there whatever I should sing too, but we'll see. We need 10,000 YouTube subscribers. Get all your Gmail accounts out and start subscribing. That's what we need. We'll be right back.
The Annie Fry Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Si te pido un beso, ven dámelo. Yo sé que estás pensándolo. Llevo tiempo intentándolo. Mami, esto es dando y dándolo. Sabe que tu corazón conmigo te hace bam bam. Sabe que esa beba está buscando de mi bam bam. Me prueba de mi boca para ver cómo te sabe.
Jen Teskey and Remax Alliance. Waiting for your phone call. You can trust Jen Teskey and the Jen Teskey Remax Alliance team to guide you through your buying and selling process. Real estate, these are the best. On the Illinois side of the river, I want you to reach out to them. Call, text 618-541-1010. 618-541-1010. Jen Teskey is going to help you get into the business of selling your home without having to put any of the extra pressure on you. She knows the questions to ask you. Her team, so good at positioning your home for the best possible sale. They know what they're doing. They understand the market, specifically in the Illinois Metro East areas, and they are the go-to for people who are looking to buy and sell for the right amount and working with you to make sure that your needs are met. Reach out to Jen Teske. You can go online to jenteschehomes.com, Teske, jenteschehomes.com. You can call or text, like I said, at 618-541-1010, 618-541-1010, jenteschehomes.com.
There's breaking news all day long from around the world, and sometimes all that noise makes it hard to hear about what's happening right here at home. With the free Odyssey app, getting your local news plus breaking news is easy. And even when you're not near a radio, stay connected with what's going on right here by listening live and push alerts. Just download the free Odyssey app and search and follow your local news station, and you're good to go. The local breaking news to get you through your day at your fingertips on the free Odyssey app. That's AUDACY.
Let's talk garage doors. Your garage door. Is it too loud? Or letting cold or hot air in around the frame? Overhead Door Company of St. Louis will make it all better. In March only, they will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79 and just in March. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Schedule now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste, so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, and other unsecured debt. If you're struggling to make monthly payments, there are special services that can significantly reduce what you pay each month by 40% or more. If you qualify, you could save hundreds of dollars each month. Most people don't know that these services are available right now to help American consumers with overwhelming credit card debt get significant savings and immediate financial relief without filing bankruptcy. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you may qualify for. They've helped consumers pay off over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times.
For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-216-3366. 800-216-3366. That's 800-216-3366. Program and services not available in all states.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for the Honor Flight today at gsl.honorflight.org. And for heating services, visit aircomfortservice.com.
You're mobile. We're with you on the radio or on the Odyssey app. Download it and take 97.1 with you, even outside the listening area.
Your home for conservative talk.
97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
U.S. intelligence officials are planning to provide briefings for Donald Trump if he officially secures the nomination, despite the fact that he's facing 40 felony charges for his handling of classified documents. As the former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, do you think it's appropriate for him to receive intelligence briefings?
Well, that is the practice, but we've never had a situation where one of the candidates for president has been so criminally negligent when it comes to handling, if not worse, when it comes to handling classified information. So I have to hope, and knowing the intelligence community as I do, that they will dumb down the briefing for Donald Trump. That is, they will give him no more information than absolutely necessary, nothing that would reveal sources or methods, because we can't trust that he will do the right thing with that information. He's been so reckless. So, yes, it does concern me. It is part of a long tradition. They will be wary of what they share with him, and they should.
Gosh, I just have really bad words to say about Adam Schiff. Just in general, Adam Schiff is such a deplorable human being. His view of the world and his hypocrisy in the way that he presents himself versus Donald Trump. He's talking about if Donald Trump were to become the president again, that the intelligence briefings will have to be dumbed down. Things will be kept from him. That is treason. You can't do that. If the American people say, all right, Adam Schiff, we see you hate this guy's guts. We know that you think about him in the morning and in the afternoon at night and then in your dreams and fantasies. We know that you can't stop thinking about him. We know that you think he's a terrible person. And there's a portion of America that agrees with you. There's a portion of America that agrees with you to an extent, and they still picked him over Joe Biden. Maybe focus more on getting a better candidate on your side rather than your obsessive hatred for this man, Donald Trump, who you have relentlessly lied about and misled the American. You want to talk about dumbing things down. Adam Schiff has tried to dumb things down for the American people in an effort to try to get him. He was impeached in the House 2 times, didn't ever go anywhere in the Senate. You want to talk about using information as a weapon? Adam Schiff is a pro at that. And he's failed miserably at it. And California is going to say, yeah, okay, fine. You can have the Senate seat unless something wild happens and Garvey ends up winning that Senate race in California to replace Feinstein. The idea that you would not provide the president of the United States with the information, you'd withhold it because he can't be trusted. What you are saying is that the American people can't be trusted. That's tyrannical. Withholding that information from the duly elected president of the United States, that's treasonous. The Democrats will stop at nothing because of their hatred for Donald Trump. And there's no way for us to know the answer to this question right now. But what does the Democratic Party do if Donald Trump is no longer on the scene? Honestly, the biggest reason I want Donald Trump to win in November is because we can't sustain 4 more years of Joe Biden or the puppeteers that have put him there and are managing him. Can't afford it. That's the number one reason why I want Donald Trump to win. Secondarily, if Donald Trump wins a second term, after his second term is over, Donald Trump's legacy will be the policies that he proved worked. They can't campaign against Donald Trump. They will have to campaign and turn every subsequential Republican candidate for office anywhere, top to the bottom of the ticket, into a Trump surrogate to continue to campaign against that. But once Donald Trump has been in office for a second term, the Republican Party is going to have to figure out what next. And the Democrat Party is going to have to figure out the same thing. Will the Democrat Party, in perpetuity, campaign against Donald Trump, regardless of who the figurehead is in place there, in the position there? And I guess in one sense, the Republicans are somewhat doing that against Joe Biden because Joe Biden is an absolute continuation, a third term of Barack Obama. A disastrous one at that. Adam Schiff is such a shameful, or I should say shameless individual who has to look at you, or specifically the people in California that are his constituents, as the plebes with which he must rule over. You are so fortunate to have his expertise and his knowledge and his know-how and his willingness to serve in that office in California. I mean, that's how he sees it. I feel like Adam Schiff gives himself Stuart Smalley pep talks in the morning into the mirror before he goes out and saves the world that day from Donald Trump. It's gross.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible to listen to Adam Schiff because he's saying that Donald Trump is not worthy of national intelligence. And then he's also, you kind of presume that what he's saying is that he is worthy of that trust, not necessarily of national intelligence, but of trust. And he has been censured by the House for lying.
So he's actually suffered consequences for his behavior, whereas he's making his claims and stuff like that on Donald Trump for completely unsubstantiated things. He just feels like Donald Trump was a Putin asset or whatever, and he wasn't. The Mueller report came back. Donald Trump wasn't doing anything for Vladimir Putin. Sorry if you guys still believe that. That's not true. And Adam Schiff's like, well, I don't like the guy, and we have alleged these things about him, so they need to withhold certain information from him. It's ridiculous. It's so farcical.
He's a master manipulator, is what he is, and he has gotten to the place that he is by doing that.
You should shorten that.
Master manipulator. No thanks. Anyway.
Go on.
He's off balance.
I am. No, that guy is it's weird to see him rewarded for what he's done because he has done nothing positive. And whether you agree with his policies or not, that aside,
we're talking
he's
about
just
Schiff?
been slimy. Yeah. He's been very, very slimy, and now he's being rewarded.
Republicans aren't electing him. He's doing exactly what Democrats want him to do. I mean, this is what you get whenever you get this politicized and this divided. You get people like Adam Schiff out there just lying about stuff. Donald Trump's a Russian asset, and he doesn't need security things. He's been shown to not be able to handle classified documents. He hasn't. He's been accused of it, but he hasn't been shown to do any of it. But this is exactly what Democrats want. We see it every day in our chat.
Let's go back to October 1st, 2019.
What we have seen in that call record is a president of the United States use the full weight of his office to manufacture dirt on his opponent and interfere in our election.
So you have recordings of both Sobchak and Buseva where they're discussing the compromising material on Mr. Trump?
Absolutely.
Well, obviously we would welcome a chance to get copies of those recordings.
It is illegal, improper, a violation of oath, a violation of his duty to defend our elections and our Constitution for the president to merely ask for foreign interference.
That's a juxtaposition of Adam Schiff shaming Donald Trump for seeking out any potential information that would be damaging to somebody here, suggesting that Donald Trump needs to be held accountable for asking for dirt on a political opponent. And that's Adam Schiff talking to people on a radio show, making a prank on him, going, absolutely. That's more British, maybe. But Adam Schiff gets a phone call from people like, hey, I got some dirt. And he's like, we would love to know more. Please send it to me. And it was a radio show. I mean, like the lowest scourge of the earth.
Yeah.
Speaking of, can we do that?
I mean, get somebody's number and I'll do it.
What do you think? We've got numbers.
Okay.
I can get phone numbers.
Can you get me in touch with the actual politician, though? That's what's amazing, is that it wasn't just his team. They actually got all the way to him somehow as a prank, and he just, you shouldn't be looking for information on a political opponent.
Compromising.
Somebody calls him, he goes, sure, send it over.
Weren't they telling him they had like nude pictures of Donald Trump or something?
Yes, it was outrageous. Why did Schiff want those?
I don't know. I wonder if he got Hunter's laptop.
It bears repeating that the entire impeachment process, the first one against Donald Trump, was because Donald Trump was on a phone call with whom? Vladimir Zelensky, the president of Ukraine. Before Russia invaded Ukraine, Donald Trump was asking Zelensky for information or cooperation, I should say, with an investigation that was active and ongoing before that phone call into what we now know to be Joe Biden. And if you go back and you listen to, I think it was Chuck Grassley, going back in the time machine in my head and trying to pull out folders that are a little dusty, but Chuck Grassley and maybe Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, who were involved with knowledge of the investigation that was into Hunter Biden and his weird role in Ukraine. And what Donald Trump was saying, Zelensky was saying, hey, we need weapons. We need defense. Why? Well, Russia. This is before Russia invaded. And Donald Trump was like, we understand that you need that. We would like something for you in return. Now you've got a president who says, how much do you need? And then they write down the amount on a check and they send it from your checking account through tax dollars that you haven't even paid yet because they're going to come from your grandchildren's tax dollars because we have no money. We have trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars in debt. But meanwhile, Adam Schiff is leading an impeachment into Donald Trump because Donald Trump is doing the egregious thing, asking Zelensky if they're to participate in an investigation into potential corruption that exists with Ukraine and the Biden family. An investigation that had already been put into play and into motion, not something that Donald Trump started. It was already in play by the Justice Department here in the United States of America. Trump's saying, you want a bunch of stuff from us? Make sure you cooperate when we ask you these questions about what's going on with this, this, and this. That had to do with Hunter Biden and potentially Joe Biden. He was the vice president of the United States when the questionable activity was taking place. When Grassley and I believe Ron Johnson were pushing this issue through, they're like, can we make Hunter Biden testify? Well, no, that's outrageous. Because the whole cardinal sin for Adam Schiff was that Donald Trump was trying to dig up dirt on a political opponent who was Joe Biden. Funny thing is that Joe Biden was losing badly in a campaign to be the Democratic nominee to people like Pete Buttigieg, who can't keep planes from crashing into the ground all across the country. Have you flown on a plane lately? I have. I had not as much confidence in the process as I would have liked to have. Like, you're sitting on the plane and you're like, where's the door? How close am I to the door? What would happen if that door flew out? Would my bag go out the window? Would I go out the window? Do you know that there is literally an initiative to change the way babies are transported on planes? Because you can hold a baby up to 2 in your lap and they don't have to buy a ticket. You can save money if they're under 2 years old by just holding the child. They're now saying our advice is really that no matter the age of the child, that you put your child in a car seat. Do you know that happened after the door flew off of a plane midair? Because if you have loose articles in a plane and a door falls off, that guy had his shirt ripped off of him.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God it was a man, I assume.
Yeah, thank God it was a man who had a nice tearaway shirt ready to roll.
He had his Adidas.
He's like, now's my time.
He was a Chippendale.
Man, I was dressed for the occasion. But his bow tie stayed on. He just kind of winks at you like, what are the odds? Pete Buttigieg was winning in that Democratic primary. Joe Biden was getting trounced. And then all of a sudden, everybody drops out and they're like, Joe Biden's our guy. And everybody was looking at each other like, really? Him? And then they rallied around Joe Biden. Donald Trump gets impeached in the House. The Senate doesn't pick it up because it was nonsense to begin with. This Adam Schiff, the guy who was full of Schiff the entire time that he was in the House and is in the House, lying about Donald Trump, now wants to say, if Trump wins the election again, we're going to have to dumb things down for him because he's just not qualified to know. Says who? Ask the American people. We will in November. And according to Laura Trump, leading up to November while we legally ballot harvest. Yay.
Dear Adam Schiff, is it okay if we dig up political dirt on an opponent? No. Is it okay if we make it up?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We won't look into that.
Turn the entire Justice Department against our political opponent for crimes that were committed in when was the Stormy Daniel payment? It was in 2014 or 2015.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we're going to run that charge out there in 2024 against Donald Trump because there were illegal payments that you said were made. We've litigated this already. I mean, stop. Just stop.
I don't know. But I'm talking about an actual political candidate running against Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, making things up in the Steele dossier, and they didn't care. But then they cared about this.
Yeah. In 3, 2, 1, where someone comments on here, didn't the Republicans start that investigation? Actually. Yeah. The entire Russia collusion story is a Republican ruse that Hillary Clinton's like, I will have none of that.
She was above it.
Yeah.
Except for the checks and the money. She did that part.
Let's take a break. Get to the results of the YouTube live chat poll. I've got like 800 tangents in my head.
I know, I do too.
One of them went down the Chippendale line, and I lost control. Do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? Yes, they make you more supportive. Yes, they make you less supportive. Or there's no impact. Happy March 11th. Here's some 311. We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Fry Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @AnnieFryShow. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Fry Show.
WindowWorld.com. If you were searching for replacement windows, search no further. WindowWorld.com has the results that you need to invest in the energy efficiency of your home, to upgrade the value of your home. These are stunning windows. There are different styles, different finishes, of course, the different shapes and sizes that you would need for the window replacements in your home. Window World has all of it. They've been satisfying St. Louis customers to the tune of 72,000 plus in thermal efficiency, improving the look of the home, and they've been here in business for over 20 years. Window World has the windows that you need, and they are simply the best windows for less. If you want a good quality investment with your hard-earned dollar, reach out to them at 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800. And see why so many St. Louisans have relied on Window World to give them the quality window replacements at an affordable price. They also come with a lifetime warranty, and very important to me if I'm going to invest in an improvement in my home, that it's going to be one I can count on to last. That lifetime warranty covers all parts, glass breakage, and labor. Go to windowworld.com, see the results for yourself and everything they do. You can call them at 314-993-1800, windowworld.com.
The IRS definitely ramped up operations since the pandemic slowed them down, and activity only increases from here. Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. If you're currently under audit or you haven't paid your taxes in the past, now's the time to call the Lance Story Law Firm. The IRS has a published Taxpayer Bill of Rights, which says you have the right to retain legal representation, because IRS problems are legal problems, and the Lance Story Law Firm focuses specifically on addressing IRS issues for our clients. It's all we do. We get out in front of the IRS, devise the best resolution plan, and work to make sure you're able to take advantage of every program you're qualified to receive. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure company, call the Lance Story Law Firm. We're local, located right here in St. Louis, or visit Lance, DRURYlaw.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Lance Story Law Firm, 314-260-6120.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
If you're driving a car or truck with an expired warranty and suddenly lost your transmission or needed a full engine repair, would a $4,000 repair bill leave you stranded? I'm Danica Patrick. Don't get caught off guard with a vehicle breakdown. Choose the company I trust, Endurance. No matter the mileage, if your vehicle is less than 20 years old, Endurance offers auto protection plans for any budget. Protection on the drivetrain, electrical, transmission, AC, and more. Plus 24/7 roadside assistance and rental car reimbursement on any plan. Endurance handles everything, from making the claim to paying the certified mechanic of your choice. Act now and get 1 full year of elite benefits. A $2,000 value, free.
Endurance has paid hundreds of millions in claims. Call for your fast free quote today. Call 800-293-8030. That's 800-293-8030. 800-293-8030.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
It's time. If you like Kenny Chesney and you want a free pair of tickets, be the 11th caller at 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. He's coming to town June 13th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, and this is your first chance of the week to win free tickets. 314-241-9797. Good luck.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Reardon Fish Fries continue. Join me and the crew at the American Legion Post 400 in Fenton this Friday. We're broadcasting live from 3 to 6 p.m. Details at 971talk.com/events. It's Fish Fry Fridays on The Mark Reardon Show. Hope to see you in Fenton.
Caught my heart about 1-2 times. Don't need to question the reason I'm yours.
You're listening to The Annie Fry Show.
I know the earth will lose a fight just to see a smile, 'cause you got no flaws.
Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Fry Show.
I'm not trying to be your part-time lover. Sign me up for them full-time. I'm yours. All yours. So what a man gotta do? What a man gotta do to be totally locked up by you? What a man gotta say? What a man gotta pray to be your last good night and your first good day. So what a man gotta do? What a man gotta do to be totally locked up by you?
I have no palace intrigue. I have no care or concern or disrespect thereof about the royals. I cannot figure out. I haven't delved into it enough. What is wrong with the photo that Kate Middleton posted?
Apparently there's a lot of little things. And the only one that I've seen somebody say is, she edited out somebody's wrist. But I couldn't tell what it was.
If you zoom in on the little girl's left wrist, where her sleeve meets her hand, you can see kind of a weird thing there. And I'm like, I don't know what they took out of there, and I don't know what the intrigue is all about that. And it's like, yeah, that was definitely edited, but I don't know what
are you
even
trying
that
to
means.
accomplish?
Yeah. And
It's great radio for me to focus on this
She's like,
photo and try to figure it out here once and for all. She had abdominal surgery. Kate Middleton had abdominal surgery, and she's been off the grid for quite some time. And I can't even find out what are the conspiracy theories about what's going on. Just that she's sicker than is being implied, or
I don't know. I know just enough to see a headline and go, okay, I'd never click on them. I don't have enough interest to really know. But it seems like there's just been some illness or a surgery. And anytime you're a high profile person, you have surgery, people are going to question what's going on. Like if you're trying to hide something.
well, it's there's the interest is what interests me, not the actual photo. And I'm just looking at this stuff going, okay, she altered a photo. If she altered a photo for a particular reason, there are a ton of reasons why people alter photos that are of no interest to me. What are we suggesting that she edited out that would be of public interest? Now, if you're the royals, every little thing you do is of public interest. And that's where I fall off. I don't understand. Do you want to talk American conspiracy theories? I can talk about those. I can tell people, well, this is what we know, this is what we think we know, and this is what people think might be happening. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand what the implication is.
I don't either. I assuming, though, that what we're stumbling upon is that Kate Middleton, Princess Catherine, hates wrists. Always has, always will, and she just wants them out of every family photo.
Slimmed that one particular wrist down.
Or just gotten rid of them entirely. I don't know. Like you said, what would be the purpose? She says she was just editing for fun, which makes sense because nothing she did makes a difference. So they go, well, if you're just editing for fun, you did a bad job. Well, so what?
Okay. All right. My bad.
It's weird. We have more interest as Americans in the inappropriate wrist editing of this photo than we do the fact that Joe Biden's currently destroying the country and thinks he's running for Congress, which I am in support of. I am here to say Joe Biden for Congress, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
He could be the rep. He could take Nikki Budzinski's spot. She's my rep.
Yeah.
He can have her spot.
Yeah, that'd be fine. He could run for governor of Illinois.
It would be an improvement.
Might be.
It would. Are you kidding me? I'd rather have someone there who doesn't know what they're doing. J.B. Pritzker knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, he does. And it's sad to be in Illinois. Man, we are such two states. Illinois is one state up north and a completely different state everywhere else.
Just Cook County.
Yeah, Cook County.
Quinn won the governorship in 2010 by winning 3 counties, 2 of which he won by less than 100 votes. Now, if you do an electoral college system in Illinois, of course, there's never going to be another Democrat that wins a statewide race ever. But I think it's 63% of the population of the state of Illinois is in Cook County. That matters.
Yeah, it does.
It matters. It's just we don't understand what it's like to live in the city of Chicago unless you've been there. And a lot of people who live outside of Cook County don't understand that. And they don't understand what it's like to live in suburban Illinois or non-Chicago suburban Illinois or country. They don't get it, which is why you'll see people in Springfield, where a huge portion of the people who are serving in the General Assembly in Springfield come from Cook County. They say, we should tax people by the mile. If I gotta drive 50 miles a day to get to and from the job where I earn money to pay my taxes, you're gonna charge me now because I gotta drive farther to earn my money, where you don't drive, you take a public transit system, or you have a driver who picks you up and you're not having to pay that. Like, you just exist in different ways. And you push that type of stuff out there, and it's outrageous and out of touch. We definitely have two different systems in our state. And I don't really know that there's a way to fix it. And people want to say, like, we need to split. If Illinois is splitting, that would only happen in a climate where the Oregon-Idaho thing is happening and Washington, D.C. becomes its own state. Like, that would, I think, only happen when there is a massive shift in the makeup of the United States of America. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, it would be a wild, wild thing to see happen because of the way, the laws are just not set up that you can do it in some sort of normal process. It would have to be very abnormal.
I'm trying to think of any state. The only state that I know of that actively split after the formation of the United States was Virginia and West Virginia, and that's because whenever
Joe Manchin.
Yeah, whenever Virginia left the Union, part of Virginia said, no, we're not leaving, and they just sent their own people.
Yeah, that's a dramatic circumstance.
Yeah, it was during a war.
Yeah.
I don't know how it would work.
I do also want to see Illinois figure out how to make it work. And the only way that these are hard truths, but the only way that that's going to happen is if we elect Republicans who are palatable moderates. You're not going to send somebody who, Darren Bailey ran for governor last year. I can line up a ton of his policies, and I'm in wholehearted agreement. I would assume with the majority of them. But if it's not electable, and you're talking about a primary where you're looking at a candidate who is looking to represent you, if they cannot win the general, then it doesn't matter. And it's important to say that. Illinois has got a primary coming up, so people need to pay attention to that. I want to get to the YouTube live chat poll results right now. Do political campaign text messages impact your support for a campaign? 1% of you, over 200 votes, said it makes you support them more. 19% say support less, and 79% say campaign text messages have no impact on your support for a campaign.
Okay.
All right, stick around. Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk next.
I drank too much.
Does your bathroom feel old and outdated? Are you dreaming of a bathroom makeover but think it's too expensive and time-consuming? Then it's time to call 1-800-REMODEL and give your bathroom a beautiful new look in just days without having to make your first payment for up to 18 months. When you call 1-800-REMODEL, you'll be connected to a top pre-screened certified bathroom remodeling professional who specializes in beautifying bathrooms quickly and affordably. We've helped tens of thousands of homeowners looking to upgrade their homes, and we can help you turn that old space into a showplace. With mortgage rates so high, now is not the best time to sell your home. So, enjoy living in it with an upgraded bathroom and make your home more valuable at the same time. Why wait? Give your bathroom a beautiful, clean new look in as little as 3 days with no payment for up to 18 months. Enjoy now, pay later. Call 1-800-REMODEL now. That's 1-800-REMODEL. Financing subject to qualification.
I was having a lot of sinus infections. My sinuses were clogged, pressure, headaches.
Linda suffered for years with chronic sinus infections.
You don't feel like doing anything. When you feel like your head is completely clogged, all you want to do is just lay down and sleep. And the pressure is just not fun, always walking around with a headache.
Now, her issues are gone. How? A minimally invasive procedure done in the office of St. Louis Sinus Centers called balloon sinuplasty.
I really did not know what it was like to feel like you're really breathing and not being so clogged up. I would do it again in a heartbeat, and I would definitely recommend it for someone else.
Do you suffer with chronic sinus infections, facial pain, pressure, congestion? Find out if balloon sinuplasty is the solution for you. Set an appointment today with St. Louis Sinus Centers. Call 314-332-2885. 314-332-2885. That's 314-332-2885.